I need the... Come on, man. Good morning. College football time. Let's go. Let's go. College football time. Let's go. Great game earlier today. Iowa State and Kansas State. Just like last year's Ireland game. Came down to the end. Unbelievable game. The first half was super sloppy with turnovers and drop passes, and it was pouring down rain, and not very exciting, I guess, offensively, but it was a close game, tied at halftime. A little back and forth in the second half, and Iowa State comes out with a big win in week 0 over conference opponent Kansas State. So they're up. They're a leg up in the Big 12. Iowa State is to start off the season 2025. But that was just the appetizer. Now it's time for the main event, which of course is the Unlv running Rebels. Led by none other than my old buddy Clown Mullen. Let's go. Let's go. Florida fans are going to be down so bad, man. Florida fans are going to have to sit home and watch their team play in the Gasparilla Bowl again while Dan Mullen's in the playoffs. Man, I'm starting to feel bad for the Florida fans. I'm serious, man. I'm really starting to feel bad for them. When they first started being fucking terrible, it was funny. Not gonna lie, it was hilarious. But now, it's to the point now where it's almost sad. Their fans have given up. Like, Florida fans don't even expect them to be good anymore. They're celebrating 5 lost seasons. It's unbelievable what's happened there. Dan Mullen took them to the SEC championship game. They got rid of him and brought in Sunbelt Billy. This motherfucker here, boy, he can't win a game. This Sunbelt Billy, he's god-awful. Meanwhile, Dan Mullen out in Vegas, Uncle Lou's home away from home, about to lead UNLV to the playoffs this year. Unbelievable. Unbelievable turn of events there. Yeah, it turns out Florida fans are in a bad way. Florida fans are in a bad way right now. If you see a Florida fan, hug them. They need it. They need it bad. Yeah, they need it bad. Anyway, UNLV is a huge favorite. This probably won't be a great game. UNLV is about a 30 or a 31 point favorite right now, depending on where you look. I bet the game on Tuesday at 25.5. So I've got UNLV minus 25.5 in this one. We'll watch a little bit of the game, see how it goes, and then maybe we'll put in a live bet during the game. If we do, I'll put a poll up in the chat and let y'all vote on a live bet. And I'll put a bet in, on something based on what y'all think. But anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm assuming most of y'all watched that first game. I streamed it over on Patreon. Big shout out to everybody who hung out and watched the Iowa State, Kansas State game over on Patreon. We had a great time. A great time. And it ended up being a great game, too. But it's time to reset and do it again now. UNLV about to kick things off from Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. They're hosting the Idaho State fucking potatoes. Dog shit potatoes, too. Idaho potatoes are dog shit. I'd rather not eat a potato than eat a potato from Idaho. Looks like UNLV will be kicking off here to start the game. Idaho State will get the ball first. Here we go. And the kick is off. Fair catch called and made at the 1 yard line, so it'll be a touchback. The Idaho State Bengals will have the ball 1st and 10. Sharkzilla, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says 2025 talking season is officially over, woo. Time to put up or shut up. That's right. That's right. And a lot of these fan bases are going to be shutting up, ain't they? Yeah, they are. A lot of them are. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, too. Jolish says, does UNLV have an orgy, too? Yeah, of course they do. There's no better place for an orgy than Las Vegas. Trust me. Trust me. I've been there a few times. I know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, Alex Orgy fit right in out there. No doubt, no question about it. All right, 1st and 10 for Idaho State. 4 wide. Shotgun. And we've got a penalty, a delay of game. Unbelievable. How do you get a delay of game on your first play of the year? Idaho State down bad already. They're in a bad way. Idaho State's like a giant collection of yard turds. They're fixing to get run out of this fucking building is what's going to happen. UNLV's fixing to put the fucking smack down on these deadbeats. All right, 1st and 15 after the delay of game. Back to throw. Has protection. Throws. Complete on a go route up the sideline all the way to the 40. A diving catch. Big play by Idaho State there to start things off. How's everybody doing? We having a good Saturday? Raining here all day. I don't give a fuck. I'm inside all day watching football anyway. It can be raining, blizzard. I wouldn't know the fucking difference. I ain't got no interest in going outside on a Saturday. Why would I? There's college football on. Back to throw. Nope. A delayed handoff. Huge play. Look at this shit. UNLV's dog shit, man. Fuck UNLV. UNLV might be down bad. What are we doing? That's about two 20-yard plays in a row. The fuck? What is UNLV doing? Dan Mullen don't know what the fuck he's doing. 1st and 10 for the potatoes on the UNLV 38. Back to throw again. Pass complete again. Short gain this time. Well, gain's about 4 or 5, I guess. It's going to be second down coming up for the Taters. What's up, Shuey? Todd Webb, Captain Tripp, Sam, King Family, Bertonius, Sam Wattsman, Suplexus, H Post. What's up, buddy? Good to see everybody in here. Y'all hit the thumbs up if you hadn't. That's a great way to help support the show and the stream. Is Orgy in at QB? UNLV hasn't had the ball yet. 2nd and 5 for the Potatoes, and they're close to a first down. I think they got it. Needed 5, gained about 5. Should be a first down. They're close to the red zone here, the Potatoes are. Did Dan Mullen, cousin Eddie's wife, kiss the players coming into the stadium? I think she's no longer allowed to do that on account of might be arrested if she gets caught doing that again. The Florida players, of course, loved it because that's the closest they'll ever get to any tail at all was Dan Mullen's dried up, half dead looking wife. But anyway, 1st and 10, Idaho State back to throw. Nowhere to go with the ball, has to throw it away. Finally, some good defense by UNLV that time. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now. Where do you watch this game? I watch it right here in this room. Yep. No, it's on the Mountain West Network and on Amazon Prime. 2 different places to watch it that I know of. Amazon Prime or the Mountain West Network. 2nd and 10. Idaho State first possession of the game. Good drive here. They're inside the UNLV 30. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage, but he's got blockers and room inside the 15 down to the 12. UNLV is absolute fucking dog shit. This is embarrassing. This is sad. No wonder Florida fired Dan Mullen. Turns out I don't know what the fuck he's doing. This looks like a Lincoln Riley team where they play defense. In other words, they don't play at all. Idaho State going fast now. Back to the line of scrimmage. 4 wide. Shotgun snap. Back to throw again. Delayed handoff. Fumble! The Potatoes jump on the ball, though. Avoided disaster there. They tried that same little draw play that they gained 20 yards on earlier. But the quarterback and the running back too far away from each other. Dropped the ball. Quarterback lucky to jump on that one. Could have been disaster for the Potatoes. 2nd and long now. 2nd and 15. They're still in the red zone, though, on the 17. First possession of the game here. 12 minutes to go. First quarter. Option. Pitch. Has some room. Breaks some tackles. Still on his feet. Inside the 10. Down to the 8. It's going to be 2nd and about 5, I think. Or 3rd and 5. 3rd and 6, they'll call it. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Potatoes. Would you rather kiss Mullen's wife or be a TAMU yell leader for a day? I'm not going to lie. I'd rather kiss Dan Mullen's wife than do that dumb shit there with the yell leading shit. Does UNLV have an orgy too? Of course they do. Of course they do. All right, here we go. 3rd and 6. Let's see if UNLV's defense can make a stop here and force a field goal. Back to throw. Into the end zone. Open, but a bad throw. He had a man open in the end zone. Quarterback was under pressure, had to get rid of it sooner than he wanted to. And the pass falls incomplete. So it's going to be 4th and 6. I'm assuming the Potatoes will kick a field goal here, but you never know. You never fucking know what one of these dumbasses is going to do. So let's see what they do here. They are going to kick a field goal. This will be a 26-yarder from the right hash. 26-yarder from the right hash. Plenty of empty seats here at the UNLV Stadium if anybody wants to go to the game. Kick is up. Looks good. Is good. 3-0. The Potatoes take an early lead over UNLV. UNLV in a bad way early in this one. Lou's first stream of the season. College football is back. That's right. Well, the first stream of the season was at noon. We streamed the Iowa State, Kansas State game over on the Patreon page. If y'all haven't signed up on the Patreon page, I don't know what you're waiting on. I stream over there every Saturday. Some Saturdays I'm going to also stream on YouTube like I'm doing now, but I stream every Saturday over on Patreon. Make sure y'all get signed up over there if you're not. Let me see. The link is in the description of the video. I'll post it in the chat. If y'all want to check it out, there it is. I stream every Saturday over on Patreon. We hung out earlier and watched Iowa State and Kansas State. Tell them, David. Yeah, we had a great time over there. We had a good time over there. Do you believe in Dan Mullen? I believe in Dan Mullen in the group of 5, yeah. Not in the Power 4, no. He's kind of like Sunbelt Billy. He belongs in the group of 5, where he can win a few games, can't do shit in the real league. All right, The Potatoes are going to be kicking off after taking an early 3-0 lead. They went right down the field and scored. It made it look easy. Couple of big plays. Drive Boggs down in the red zone. They settle for a field goal, but Idaho State up early in this one, 3-0 over Unlv. About to see our first look at Dan Mullen's UNLV offense. We'll see who he's going to start at quarterback. Will it be Alex Orji or will it be Calandria, the transfer from Virginia? We're about to find out. Nick, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, heads up not to mistreat Uncle Lou. It's mean. Yeah, plus it clearly states on the screen right here that trolling will not be tolerated. One thing we don't do on this channel is troll. This is not a troll channel. I don't troll. Whatever you do, don't try to troll me. Please.
Say it with a straight face.
This is a serious channel here. Yeah, okay, Alex Orji is in at quarterback. He's in a shotgun with 3 wide. Can he complete a pass? That's... Uh-oh. Flea flicker. Incomplete into triple coverage. Alex Orji is so bad that they let a running back throw the first pass of the season. That tells you everything you need to know about Alex Orji. This guy can't complete a pass from here to there. He was the starting quarterback in a Power 5 program last year and had 200 yards passing for the entire season. I mean, the guy's an absolute deadbeat when it comes to his arm. Now, he's an athlete. He can run around some. Looks like we got a penalty flag. Are they going to get the Potatoes for pass interference? It looks like they are. They got the Potatoes for pass interference. Good. Alex Orji looks like a fucking tree trunk. Shotgun again for Orji. Rolls to the right. Throws. Complete, and the receiver immediately falls down for reasons unknown. Short gain. He does look like a safety. He's a big boy, Alex Orji. My girlfriend said Lou got naked on the Patreon stream. Can't confirm, but I believe women. Well, plus she's on my Feet Finder and my OnlyFans page too. Your girlfriend is, so she's literally seen it all. UNLV on the ground this time, breaking tackles on 2nd and 5, gain of about 10. First down, good guys. Nice cutback right in the hole by the running back that time. Leads to a first down for UNLV. 1st and 10 now. 10:20 to go in the first quarter. Potatoes 3, UNLV 0. Orji in a shotgun with 3 wide, back to throw again, looks right, throws right, caught, receiver keeps his feet this time, turns upfield, close to another first down. Couple of quick passes by Orji here, at or near the line of scrimmage, nothing downfield yet. Burgle is the only one who can troll Lou. Burgle, stop trolling me, dude, with the heavy breathing.
She can't help it.
Burgle's trolling me with the heavy breathing routine.
She can't help it.
Alex Orji, another pass behind the line of scrimmage. Uh-oh, lots of room. 20, 15, 10. Out of bounds inside the 10 at the 8. It's going to be 1st and goal. UNLV. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What channel is the game on? It's streaming on the Mountain West Network, and I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime. Or I know you can watch it on Amazon Prime. They're going to say he stepped out at the 12. So 1st and 10 at the 12. They keep it on the ground. Inside the 10. Spins out of a tackle. Down just inside the 9. Gain of about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up for UNLV. Just go to the Mountain West website on your computer. It's free there, says Jackpot. Lady Lou wearing Florida colors, first stream. Dang, down bad. She's in a bad way. Might be homeless.
No, it's a Dave Matthews shirt.
2nd and 7. Orji in a shotgun. He's going to keep it. Walks into the... Oh, he fumbled. Look at that. Potatoes recovered. Alex Orji dove for the end zone and fumbled. And they're going to say touchback, and it's going to be the Potatoes' ball. Alex Orji's down bad. Look at that. Dove for the end zone. Defender put his helmet right on the ball, and it's a fumble. Recovered in the end zone by Idaho State. They're going to review it, I guess, to see if the ball crossed the plane. Hard to tell from the angle I saw. It looked like a fumble to me. It looked like he was short of the end zone. I think OSU grabs a 24-21 win over the Shorthorns, Lou. I took Texas in that one, but nothing would surprise me. That's going to be a good game. Ohio State could clearly win that game, but a lot of brand new for Ohio State. 2 new coordinators, a quarterback that's never started, 2 new starting running backs. I don't know. I went with a more experienced team in Texas in that one, but it's going to be a great game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State win it. Can't even see Lou's reaction to the fumble. Yeah, they're reviewing it now. Alex Orji. In a bad way, obviously. Game is on Prime. Yeah, game's on Amazon Prime and the Mountain West Network. And LouTube. Right here on LouTube, too. Orgy is down bad in the worst way. Yeah, gotta hold on to the fucking ball. I mean, that's pretty important. Dan Mullen has the Florida disease. The game is free on Amazon Prime in case anyone... Yeah, we've announced that about 100 times, but the game is on Amazon Prime and the Mountain West Network. Is Lou on Prime? Lou is Prime. What's up, Airplane Man? UNLV might lose. It's 3 minutes into the game, buddy. I'll bet you any amount of money you want that UNLV doesn't lose. Name your price. Since when does Dion own Amazon? He doesn't, that I'm aware of. Trolling isn't tolerated. Since when all you do is troll? No, John, you must be in the wrong stream. There's no trolling here, bud. No trolling. This is a serious channel. Trolling. Oh, that's clearly a fumble. That's not even close. Yeah, that's clearly a fumble. From that angle there, that's not even close. He was all the way on the 1 yard line when that thing came out. Wasn't even close to the goal line. Orgy down bad. Can't even get it in. Dang. You know how hard it is not to be able to get it in an orgy? I mean, shit. You can literally trip and fall and get it in. Screen pass for Idaho State picks up 10, 12 yards. First down, potatoes. Save me a seat at the blackjack table. On Wednesday, I'll be there. I'll be there. 1st and 10 Idaho State after the UNLV turnover at the goal line. And Alex Orji fumble into the end zone, recovered by Idaho State, who has a 3-0 lead early in this one. 4 wide shotgun for Idaho State. Back to throw. Gets rid of it quick. Caught in the flat. Tries to turn upfield. Nowhere to go. Gain of a couple. 2nd and long coming up now for the potatoes. I want to see those nachos. Lou, I ate nachos earlier during the Iowa State-Kansas State game, but I'm going to have some more probably in the second half. I'll have some more in the second half. I knew I should have bet Idaho money line. You'd have lost a lot of money if you'd have done that. I'll let you bet Idaho money line right now with me. How much you want to bet? Pass complete to the 45. Looks like another first down. Kansas State couldn't cover. I should have went money line. You'd have lost on the money line too. They lost the game. I bet Kansas State money line. Dan Mullen down bad. Yeah, that's not a surprise. 4 wide for Idaho State on first down. They're on their own 45. Back to throw, going deep. Caught. Look at this. All down in the red zone again. All the way down to the 20. UNLV is getting torched on defense. They looked okay on offense, but their defense has been dog shit both times on the field. I mean, Idaho State went right down the field the first time. Now they're doing it again. All the way down to the 20. 1st and 10 potatoes. The over might have been the bet to make in this game, but the over was so damn high at 64.5. Is that what the over-under was? I didn't bet the over-under, but man, this was nothing but offense in this game. No defense at all. 4 wide for Idaho State. Play action, throws, complete again. Receiver chopped down at the 15-yard line, gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards. Second down coming up for the Potatoes. Mullen going to need a TV booth to hide behind. Yeah, he might be right back to calling games after this disaster here. Idaho State's going quick, and it looks like UNLV just can't get set on defense. What happened now? The game cut out. Oh, here we are. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage. Double pass. Back to the quarterback, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Boy, this Florida troll job is not going well. It's about to be 10-0 Idaho State. It's about to be 10-0 Idaho State. Oh, wait, he might have stepped out. He might have stepped out at the 1. I couldn't tell. No, I guess not. Here comes the extra point. It's going to be 10-0 Idaho State. No defense at all in this game. Idaho State's gone right down the field twice. The first time they had to settle for a field goal. This time they go right down and score. UNL defense, complete dog shit. UNLV also went right down the field and scored, but Alex Orji fumbled at the goal line. Here comes the extra point. It's good. 10-0 Potatoes up over UNLV. He should have done more work during recruiting season. He didn't recruit at all. He didn't get hired in time to recruit. Dan Mullen didn't. So he brought in like 40-something transfer players. Do I have an Idaho State hat? No, I have to settle for this potato right here. I was just fixing to say, where's the defense for either team? Defense optional here. Defense optional here. No defense at all in this one. 3 possessions and 3 trips right down the field. Mullen wife heard orgy and said, when and where? Oh, yeah, sign her up. Remember when she used to molest the Florida players when they got off the bus? Of course, the Florida players didn't mind. That's the most action they've ever gotten. This is a prequel to what is going to happen to Georgia week 1. Oh, man, Georgia's losing to Marshall in week 1? I wish some of y'all had money. I wish some of y'all had money. Dan Mullen down bad. Yeah, this is embarrassing for UNLV. UNLV ain't getting no kisses now. Mullen brought in Jake Pope. Yeah, facts. Jake Pope used to be at Bama, then transferred to Georgia, now transferred to UNLV. It's a safety. I haven't noticed if he's playing or not, but I know he does play for UNLV. Did Dan Mullen hire Todd Grantham again? I don't know how Todd Grantham keeps getting jobs. Do y'all? And big jobs, too. I mean, how many SEC teams has he, how many SEC schools has he been at? He's been in the NFL, and he's terrible everywhere he goes, but somehow he keeps getting hired. It's the weirdest thing. I can't figure it out. I don't know if he's got, like, blackmail on a bunch of people or what, but Todd Grantham keeps getting hired over and over again. And there's not a fan base in the country that's ever had Todd Grantham as a coach that likes him at all. It's the weirdest thing. Dan Mullen and Billy Napier are going to play in the Retard Bowl. That would be that would be a good bowl match. UNLV and Florida would be a great game. I like the no fake injuries rule. Yeah, they caught Iowa State with that in the game earlier. Cost Iowa State a timeout with the falling down routine on defense. All right, game back on after the Idaho State touchdown. They're out to a surprising 10-0 lead on the road at UNLV. UNLV trying to get all 11 people in the stands fired up. I don't know if that's going to work. You're losing 10-0 and you're dancing on the sidelines. There's nobody in the stands. I don't know. I mean, they're doing this. Are they talking to me? I mean, I think I'm the only UNLV fan. There's the kick. Fielded at the... Nope, he's going to let it go into the end zone for a touchback. So this will be UNLV's second possession of the game. They went right down the field the first time, but Alex Orji fumbled at the goal line. Idaho State then took over, went right down the field and scored. That's where we're at now. 10-0 your score. Orji benched. I don't think he's benched. I think the plan was to rotate quarterbacks. The plan was to rotate quarterbacks. More people in the stands than Miami. That's true. Nobody goes to Miami games. Why would you? UNLV and Miami have something in common, though. They both play at NFL stadiums that aren't their own. Calandria is going to keep on a zone read, picks up about 3 yards. Calandria, a transfer quarterback from Virginia. He's a better passer than Alex Orji. At least that's what they say. Of course, I'm a better passer than Alex Orji. So that's not saying much. 2nd and 7 now for UNLV. They're down 10. They got to make something happen here. Handoff this time. Not much room. Gained about 2. It's going to be 3rd and 5 coming up for UNLV. Those 11 people aren't UNLV fans. They're drunks who ended up at a football game thinking it was a casino. Yeah, well, I did that when I was out there. We went to a hockey game out there. Vegas Knights hockey game we went to last January. 3rd and 4, they're going to call it for UNLV. Calandria in a shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Probably going to see him throw the ball this time. Motion, snap, back to throw. Complete in the backfield. Can't make anybody miss and gets tackled for a 1-yard loss. UNLV's yet to throw the ball downfield. I mean, every pass they've thrown's been at the line of scrimmage with both quarterbacks, so I don't know. It could be that they are just complete fucking dog shit, because that's what it looks like here. Somebody finally decided to play defense, and it was Idaho State forcing a 3 and out here on UNLV, down 10-0 early in this one. UNLV sends out the punt team, and they get the punt away. This one's going to be fair, caught at the 22 yard line. We'll see if the UNL defense can figure anything out, because so far Idaho State is making them look silly. Idaho State's had the ball twice, and they've gone right down the field with ease both times. Does Carson Beck get good numbers on TikTok views? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't even know. I don't even know if he has a TikTok. Mullen has been gambling instead of playing football. Hey, Lou, tell the lady I said hello. Ryan Rakestraw said hello.
Hi.
She says hi. Grabbed Idaho State at plus 30.5 and the under at 67.5. Both those look like good bets right now. Did UNLV get given poisoned potatoes? Where's the game being streamed? The game is on Amazon and Mountain West Network. Why did I put money down on Dan Mullen to cover the spread? I got it at 24.5, and I thought I was getting a steal because it's up to 31 now. At kickoff, it was at 31. I bet it on Tuesday at 24.5. So I'm losing too. That's your 12-spot team? No, it's not. I love it when Lou is wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I pick, how many games a week do I pick? I'm wrong all the time, man. I've already been wrong once. I picked Kansas State. I picked Kansas State, UNLV, Hawaii, Kansas. Those were my picks on the 4 games today, if you want to track it. I picked Kansas State. They lost. I picked UNLV. They're losing. I took Kansas, and Hawaii. Those are my 4 picks today to win the game. On the bets, I did Kansas State money line. That lost. I did under 24.5 points in the first half of the Kansas State-Iowa State game. That hit. So I'm 1-1 on bets so far today. On this game, I bet UNLV minus 24.5. Not looking good. On the Fresno State-Hawaii game, I took Fresno State over 16.5 points. But I do think Kansas will win. And on the Stanford-Hawaii game, I took Hawaii minus 2.5. Those are the bets I made today. How does UNLV losing equal playoffs for Florida? It doesn't. All right, Idaho State with the ball after the UNLV punt. They're going to keep it on the ground. Missed tackles by UNLV and another 12-yard gain. Idaho State's got to be averaging about 15 or 20 yards per play. The UNLV defense is horrible. I mean, horrible. Look at this missed tackle right in the hole. Boom. You make that tackle, it's no gain. Instead, 12, 13 yards. Yeah, Idaho State's got to be averaging 15 yards a play, at least. It's got to be. What is it? 1st and 10, 3:55 to go in the first quarter. Idaho State with the ball in a 10-point lead. Todd Grantham gave Dan Mullen some pointers when he went there. I loving this. What's up, Octavian? Idaho State shotgun 4 wide, 1st and 10. They're on their own 33. Snap. Handoff. Somehow only gained 3 yards that time. Minor miracle for the UNLV defense that time, holding them to a 3-yard gain. Justin Flo, he's down bad. I looked it up, Lou. The potatoes are averaging 11 yards per play. You pissed off the potatoes, Lou? I've been pissing off potatoes for 11 years, buddy. 4 wide. 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Blitz. They pick it up. Pass complete. Receiver fell down. Would have been a 1st down, but he slipped. He's going to be about a yard short. 3rd and 1. But that's no problem for Idaho State. They'll pick up this 1st down, I'm pretty sure. They definitely used your video as bulletin board material. 3rd and 1. They pick up 3. 1st down, Idaho State. One of Dan Mullen's former assistants works at Lowe's now. Hell, at this rate, Dan Mullen's going to be working at Lowe's. Oh, there was a penalty on Idaho State, so instead of a 1st down, it's going to be 3rd and 6. Maybe UNLV can do something here on 3rd and 6. We'll see. So far, Idaho State is making UNLV look bad, especially defensively. It's like the UNLV defense looks lost. 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Gets rid of it. Caught. Tackled. Short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and 1. If I'm Idaho State, I go for it. Fuck it. I mean, they haven't shown that they can stop you from anything. 4th and 1. You just line up and go for it. And here they go. Handoff. Oh, they didn't get it. Wow. Idaho State tried to go quick. They've been catching UNLV off guard. Not that time, though. And whoever was trolling Justin Flo, he just made a big play for UNLV here. Unblocked into the backfield. And UNLV is going to get a turnover on downs here. So finally, they slow down this Idaho State offense, and UNLV will have good field possession here, down 10-0. 2:28 to go in the 1st quarter. What's up, Adam? Gamecock Man, what's up, buddy? Roger Dodger, what's up, buddy? What was 50? Calandria is still in the game at quarterback for UNLV. Alex Orji was your quarterback for the 1st possession. Took UNLV right down the field, but he fumbled at the goal line, Alex Orji did. Last possession, Calandria was the quarterback. UNLV went 3 and out. Calandria back in at quarterback again now. No gain on 1st down, brings up 1 yard gain, brings up 2nd and 9. 3 wide. Back to throw. A short pass again. Caught. Tackled right away. Gain of about 7. It's going to be 3rd down. Idaho State's making the open field tackles and UNLV is not. And that's one of the biggest differences in this game right now. UNLV can't tackle and the potatoes can. Pass was complete, but couldn't get away from the defender there, the receiver. And it brings up 3rd and 2. Calandria in a shotgun, moving some people around now. They're on the Idaho State 32. They need to get to the 30. Snap. Handoff. Boy, it's close. I think he's going to be a little short. He might have got it. It's going to be close. Getting a little chippy out there now. Somebody's helmet got pulled off. And they did get the 1st down, but barely. So 1st and 10 now for UNLV. Jolie says, has UNLV been trying to pass or just run heavy? Where are they failing offensively? They have thrown the ball, but everything's been 5 yards and in. A bunch of hitch passes at the line of scrimmage and a couple of 5-yard curls. They have not even tried to throw the ball downfield. Well, they tried on a flea flicker. They let a running back throw the ball downfield. Neither quarterback has thrown the ball downfield. A running back did, and it was incomplete. Now they go, they wanted to go downfield. Instead, Calandria tucks it, takes off running. Picks up a 1st down before getting shoved out of bounds. That's by far UNLV's best play of the day. A busted play results in a QB scramble for about 12 or 13 yards. 1st down, UNLV in the red zone. Their luck, Mullen didn't have time to recruit. Mullen ain't got no interest in recruiting, does he? That's what he said at Florida, I think. He brought in about 40 or 50 players through the transfer portal, Mullen did. About 40 of them were Power 4 players. but they don't look good. Especially defensively, they look really bad. And they still haven't completed a pass more than 5 yards downfield. 2nd and 7 now for UNLV. Calandria still in at quarterback. Alex Orji did play quarterback the first drive of the game. It's been Calandria since then. A handoff on 2nd and 7 goes almost nowhere. Might have gained a yard or two. UNLV is having a hard time moving Idaho State off the ball on the line of scrimmage, which is alarming. If you're UNLV. I think that's going to be the end of the first quarter, and it is. Your score, the Potatoes 10, UNLV 0 at the end of the first quarter. UNLV was a huge favorite, 31-point favorite at kickoff, and they are getting pushed around and manhandled at home by FCS Idaho State. Dan Mullen went from losing to Vandy to losing to Idaho State. What clown Mullen, man. I don't know, how much further can he fall? He went from Florida to the announcing booth to UNLV. Next year, he might be the coach of Idaho State if he keeps this shit up. Uncle Lou, wasn't UNLV in your college football playoff, dummy? Your season is over. Yeah, I've got UNLV as my group of 5 team for the playoffs, yeah. You were wrong about UNLV, you'll be wrong about Auburn. To the playoffs, Auburn goes. Auburn's not getting anywhere near the playoffs, buddy. It's a homer take. You're just a blind homer. Auburn hasn't even made a bowl game since COVID. What are you talking about the playoffs for? The best thing Auburn can do is claim a bunch of fake national titles, some more even, because they ain't winning shit this year. UNLV brought in a bunch of mercenaries. Yeah, they completely turned their roster over through the portal. Juice Poop predicted Florida to the playoffs. Yes, he did. And Nebraska. Florida and Nebraska to the playoffs, Josh Pate says. Idaho State would beat my Kentucky team. Damn, Lane. Come on, man. Come on, man. Mercenaries from Mercer. No, he brought in a 40 Power 4 player, almost 40 Power 4 players. Dan Mullen did. So they're not all from Mercer. Buddy, wish the offseason never ends. You? Me? I hate the offseason. Supposedly Auburn is claiming a national championship after every loss. Well, shit, they're probably going to claim a lot more than this season. I knew you were wrong about the season after one quarter. Yeah. Remember last year during the Florida State-Georgia Tech game? Florida State got the ball first, went right down the field and scored. My entire comment section, oh, this game's over. Florida State's going to win 100-0. Meanwhile, Florida State hardly got another first down the rest of the year. Never mind that game. What happened, Lou? I thought UNLV by 40. Yeah, I thought UNLV was going to win by 40. Pack dodged a bullet with UNLV. UNLV was the second best group of 5 team last year. But they don't look like it this year. Uncle Lou is a UNLV alum. No. Hugh Freeze needs to bring the strippers back to motivate his players. He needs to try something. They've been absolutely terrible under Hugh Freeze. Auburn has. Auburn has more talent than everyone but Georgia and Bama on their schedule, and those games are at home at night. Comment section should learn ball. Okay. Okay, buddy. All right. What channel is the game on? Amazon Prime and Mountain West Network. I don't think it's on a TV channel. It's streaming on Amazon Prime and on the Mountain West Network website, I think. Another pass behind the line of scrimmage for UNLV that results in no gain. 4th and 5. I don't understand. UNLV is still not throwing the ball downfield. Here's another pass at the line of scrimmage that results in no gain. I don't know what they're doing offensively, but this is bad. UNLV looks real bad. Let's see, 4th and 5. They're going to kick a field goal here. This is going to be about a 30-yarder, 31-yarder. 31-yard field goal attempt from the left hash for UNLV. Kick is up. Did he miss that? He missed it. They can't even kick a 30-yarder. UNLV is dog shit. I mean, they are bad. Real bad. Damn. How do you miss a 30-yard field goal indoors at home? This is bad. This is real bad. Josh Dobbs has a better chance of growing eyebrows than Auburn does of making the playoffs. Yeah, Auburn's not getting anywhere near the playoffs. Pack dodged a bullet. All right, we're caught up on that. Idaho State to the playoffs. Yeah, the FCS playoff. They're an FCS team. They might. So I don't know how good they are as far as the FCS playoffs go. I have no idea. Auburn had 5 NCAA recognized titles with or without claims. We had more. Dummy. Auburn has 2 natties, bud. A draw for Idaho State picks up another 7 or 8 yards, just like clockwork. 2nd and short coming up for Idaho State. Some of Clemson kickers could have missed that field goal. Clemson had bad kickers. Alabama had a string of bad kickers for a while, but they seem to have cleaned that up lately. For a while under Nick Saban, that was the only thing bad about Alabama was their field goal kickers every year. But it seems like they cleaned that up lately. Idaho State in a shotgun on 2nd and 2, 4 wide. Snap, back to throw. Good coverage that time. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 2 coming up now for Idaho State. Auburn and Florida are both better all-time programs than Georgia. Neither one of those programs are better all-time than Georgia. They have less wins, less SEC titles, and both of those teams have losing records to Georgia. All-time. So that's just not true at all. Less national titles, too. Less of everything. Quarterback keep on 3rd and 2, gains 2. And that should be a first down. It's close, but it should be a first down. All natty claims pre-integration should be tossed, maybe even pre-BCS. UNLV players were up all night at the casino. I don't know what they were doing. They ain't been practicing football, though. This is bad. They look real bad. All 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, there's nothing good. They're not doing anything good. Roll on French fry potatoes. 1st and 10 for Idaho State. Let's see if UNLV can make something happen here. Their defense has been really bad so far. 10-0 to score. UNLV just missed a field goal. Idaho State's got the ball back to throw. Going deep, down the sideline. Intercepted. Now that's the first bad play by Idaho State. That was a bad throw and an interception by UNLV on about a 50-yard bomb down the sideline. 2nd turnover of the game. First one was by UNLV right at the goal line. If you missed the beginning of the game, UNLV did have a good drive with Alex Orji at quarterback. They went all the way down the field. It looked like Alex Orji was going to score a touchdown for UNLV, and he fumbled at the goal line. So UNLV has the 1 turnover now. Idaho State turns the ball over, an interception. This was just a bad pass, way overthrown. I'm not even real sure what he was doing there. Easy interception for UNLV, and they've got the ball back. They're going to keep it on the ground on 1st down. Gain of about 6 up the middle. 2nd and 4 for UNLV. Still down 10-0 in this one. 12.5 minutes to go in the first half. Is Orji hurt? Not that I'm aware of. No. I mean, their plan was to play both quarterbacks. I don't know what type of rotation they have planned or what, but they didn't name a starting quarterback going in. The plan was to play both Orji and Calandria. Calandria is a transfer from Virginia. The game's on Amazon Prime and Mountain West Network. Quarterback draw for Calandria. Picks up the first down. Oh, and then some. Down inside the 45 to the 43. One of the best plays of the day so far for UNLV. Picks up about 15. 1st and 10 UNLV. Calandria sound like a sexually transmitted disease. Probably got it from having an orgy. Calandria back to throw, steps up, downfield. Oh my God, a pass downfield and it's complete. The first complete pass downfield of the day for UNLV. How you doing?
Good.
First completed pass downfield of the day for UNLV. The rest of their passes have been at or behind the line of scrimmage except for a flea flicker where the running back threw the ball downfield incomplete earlier. That's the first pass a quarterback's thrown more than 5 yards. 1st and 10 now just inside the 30 for UNLV. They're down 10-0 at home to FCS Idaho State. Keep this one on the ground. Gain of about 6, maybe 7. Nice run that time. Best looking drive, I think, so far for UNLV outside of that first one that ended in an Alex Orji fumble. Penalty, though. Oh, they're going to get UNLV with a hold, so that's going to come back. Wipe that 7-yard run away. Instead of 2nd and 3, it's going to be 1st and long. Maybe Orji got hurt when the helmet hit his hand. I haven't heard, I watch the games on mute, so I can't even hear what the announcers are saying. So if Alex Orji is hurt, that's news to me. 1st and 20 for UNLV. Uh-oh. Running back gets loose up the middle. Touchdown. Broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he was gone. Biggest play of the day for UNLV results in a touchdown. They finally get on the board. It's going to be 10-6 now. Extra point will make it 7. They still trail by 3. All 14 drunks in the stadium are going crazy. Florida should be better in baseball. That UGA, they have all that Florida talent. I don't know anything about baseball or care. Nobody cares about college baseball. More people watch the Little League World Series than watch the College World Series. Nobody cares about college baseball. Auburn hasn't had 7 wins in a season in the 2020s. Yeah, they're dog shit since they fired Goose Malzoon. Auburn is 15-3 versus Vandy since you were born. Well, they didn't start keeping football records the year I was born. Auburn is 500 against Vandy all time, 22-22. So they're 500 against the worst program in the SEC. Auburn is. Tennessee is the best college baseball team ever. I can't even argue with you because I don't know or care. No one cares about college baseball. Your stream is behind. No, my stream, I'm not watching the game behind. YouTube is on a delay. Florida versus Idaho State. I'm taking the potatoes. LSU better. Oh, I missed that one. Mew2 says, for you and the lady, I'm out. Have a good Saturday, fam. Thank you, Mew2. Enjoy your Saturday, buddy. Enjoy your Saturday. This is just the appetizer. Full plate of games next weekend. 5 straight days of games. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll be live Thursday night at 9 o'clock for Nebraska and Cincinnati. Nebraska and Cincinnati coming up Thursday at 9. Lou, did you see Josh Pate has Florida in the college football playoff? Yeah, and Nebraska. Will you be live for the Hawaii game? No. I mean, some of it, because it comes on at what? I'm streaming till this game's over. I've been on since 9 o'clock this morning. So we did the college kickoff show at 9. I did Iowa State, Kansas State over on the Patreon page at noon, and now this game. This is gonna be it for today. Auburn ain't played nobody. Well, nobody ain't played nobody yet, except for Iowa State, Kansas State, UNLV, and Potato State. Can't wait to play all SEC teams in a 2-year period now. Yeah, I love the 9-game conference deal. They should have been did that. All right. Idaho State returns to kickoff out to the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35. Boy, even their special teams is bad. UNLV is bad, y'all. UNLV is bad. Because I don't think, I haven't changed my mind about Idaho State. Like, I don't suddenly think they're really good. UNLV is bad. UNLV is bad. They're real bad. Dan Mullen has ruined them. Yeah, Dan Mullen has ruined them. First and 10 for Idaho State. They're on their own 37. 10-7, a 3-point lead for the Potatoes. That delayed draw again. Look at this, 30, 40, 50-yard gain right up the middle. That's the third or fourth time they've run that play, and that has happened every time. 30, 40 yards every time they run that play. That's the third or fourth time they've done it, that little delayed draw. And there's just a gap a mile wide in the middle of that UNLV defense. Look at this. I mean, there's nobody near this guy. Look at him. There's not anybody near him. First and 10 for the Potatoes. They're going to throw this time. Pass down to the 10-yard line. Diving incomplete. Dan Mullen ain't played nobody. Well, he's played Idaho State, and it's not going well. It's not going well at all. UNLV is in a bad way. They look bad. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Idaho State. I mean, they're playing well. But this UNLV team I'm seeing is bad. They can't tackle. The special teams is bad. They missed an easy 30-yard field goal. They can't throw the ball downfield. They're getting beat at the line of scrimmage. Like, it's hard to find anything where UNLV is better than Idaho State on either side of the ball. Like, UNLV looks really bad. They made a good play that time defensively. Made a tackle in the backfield on a little hitch pass. Idaho State tried to set up a screen. But 3rd and 16, we'll see if UNLV can make a play here, if they're going to let Idaho State pick this thing up. 3rd and 16, empty backfield. Now they bring the running back in, it looks like. So 4 wide shotgun with a running back. Snap, back to throw. Looking. Throws. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 16. I don't know what they're going to do here. Can't kick a field goal from here. I guess they're going to have to punt it. Florida's going to be scary, but I got Texas winning the SEC. The Kansas State-Iowa State game was boring first half. Well, there wasn't any offense. Yeah, it was a close game, so it was exciting in that way, but there was no offense at all in that first half. Turnovers and drop passes, pouring down rain. Idaho State lined up to punt the ball on 4th and 16. Kicks away. Hits at the 5-yard line. That's going to be a touchback, I think. Watching orgy makes me never want to try an orgy. Dang. Never say never, man. Never say never. Yeah, I don't know why somebody would say Florida is scary. You got to be pretty bad if you're scared of Florida. Thank God orgy isn't on Michigan anymore. Nate, why are you timing people out? Oh, spamming? Okay. Yeah, don't spam the chat. If you type something and nobody responds, it's because nobody gave a shit about what you typed. Yeah, your season is over video tomorrow. It'll be a short one, not like, it won't be like the regular ones because there's only a handful of games today, but yeah, there will be a your season is over video tomorrow. Dude saying Georgia has a losing record is a retard. Yeah, but if you time out everybody that's a retard, there'll be nobody left. So don't time them out just for being a retard. If they're spamming, yeah, don't spam the chat. It's hard enough to read the chat without somebody spamming the same thing over and over again. But I'm not buying the Florida or South Carolina hype at all. I'm not buying the Florida hype. I think South Carolina, if things go well, could win 8 or 9 games. But it's going to be hard for them to get past that, I think. I heard Kansas State is going to claim the 2022 Natty for winning the Big 12. The UNLV season isn't over quite yet. Well, they look bad, though. I mean, maybe they come back and win this game. There's plenty of time left, obviously, but they look absolutely terrible. Lou, what upsets do you see in week 1? Well, I like Texas to win. I think they're a small underdog. I haven't really looked at the lines for week 1, so I I don't really have any picks yet for week 1. I'll start looking at those on Monday. Syracuse upsetting Tennessee. Maybe. Syracuse lost so much, though. So I don't know. We'll see. I think Tennessee probably wins that one. Yeah, Alex Orji back in the game now for UNLV. Georgia has an all-time losing record versus Harvard. I wonder if anybody cares about that. When did they play, 100 years ago? Alex Orji's going to hand the ball off. Running back breaks a couple of tackles, gets to the outside, and then dragged down after a gain of about 3. Orji back on Miss Mullen's finished. I'm not sure what that means. Thoughts on Missouri? They've got one of the easiest schedules in the SEC. I don't think they're very good, but they might win 8 or 9 games again because of the schedule. But I think Missouri was the worst 9-3 team in the country last year. I don't think they were very good, but they were 9-3. 2nd and 6 now. Orji in a shotgun with 3 wide. UNLV down 3. 10-7. 8 minutes to go. Play action. Orji rolls out to his left. Flags all over the place. Orji throws the ball all the way to Reno. Incomplete. And it looks like probably some kind of holding or something in the backfield. There was 2 or 3 flags thrown in the backfield. In the area of holding. I don't know what the call is going to be. Referees have to have a 10-minute meeting. If the referees have to have a 10-minute meeting, then maybe there's no penalty. I mean, whoever threw the flag should know why they threw the flag. Call it a fucking penalty and let's play. What are they doing? Holding on the defense. Roughing the passer on the defense. Holding on the offense. 3 penalties. Offset, replay to down. So, holding on the defense, roughing the passer on the defense, holding on the offense. Penalties offset, replay the down. He cannot complete a pass. He threw that last one all the way to Reno. Alex Orji's going to keep the ball this time, puts his head down, breaks a couple of tackles, and looks like he got the first down. That's about all he's good for, in my opinion. That's it. I wouldn't want him throwing the ball on a regular basis, but let him put his head down and run the ball. That's about all he can do. I like Miami and the points versus Florida. I don't even know what the spread is in that game, but I did pick Miami to win that one. Orji is a Timu Milrow. That's bad because Milrow ain't even any good. Nice run here, UNLV. There he goes. Could be gone. 50, 40, 30. Touchdown, UNLV. They're finally going to take the lead here. Wow. It looked like he was going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage, and then he just popped out the other side and was gone. Outran everybody. That dude's fast. So glad I suggested last year that you fully embrace UNLV as your minor league team. Is UNLV back? I don't know. They looked so bad in the first quarter of this game. I don't know if I can... I don't know. The whole troll Florida thing with UNLV might have came to an end in that first quarter. They were so bad. The game's not on a channel. It's on Amazon Prime and the Mountain West Network. Streaming on the Mountain West Network and Amazon Prime, but it's not on a channel. Florida wins the SEC and Dion wins the Big 12. There it is. The absolute dumbest comment I've seen today. The absolute dumbest. Colorado wins the Big 12 and Florida wins the SEC. It's not going to get any dumber than that, folks. I mean, I could stream for 7 days straight and we wouldn't see anything that dumb.
5-star dummy.
It's a good thing y'all don't have any money. That might be why you don't have any money. Well, did you see Juice Poot's playoff bracket? Yeah, I did. I think the Florida and Nebraska picks are ridiculous. I mean, some of his other picks I might not agree with, but like they're not retarded. Picking Florida and Nebraska is retarded. Josh Pate makes his brackets based off power or friendship. Well, Josh Pate looks at his YouTube analytics, figures out which states are dropping in viewership, and then hypes up those states' schools. Florida hasn't won nothing since you were 2. What was it, 2008? Florida won the SEC last time. There's nobody that glazes Billy Napier in Florida more than Josh Pate. Yeah, I don't understand it. He's been doing it for years. He did this last year with Florida. Talked about how great they were going to be. Is Georgia your highest state, Lou? For viewers, probably. Probably. Georgia Tech has won something more recently than Florida, and that is sad. Have they, though? I don't think they have. All right, Idaho State with the ball. They trail for the first time in the game. Let's see how they respond to this. Incomplete pass that time. So it's going to be second down now for Idaho State. 2nd and 10. They're on their own 25. UNLV just took the lead 14-10. 4 wide shotgun. Back to throw. Nope, that delayed draw again. Uh-oh, UNLV figured out that delayed draw. That's it. Game over. UNLV is going to win. UNLV finally figured out that delayed draw. They've run that play 3 or 4 times and gained 30 yards every time they've run it. That time they lost 3 or 4 yards. UNLV, they finally stopped playing left-handed. Yep, Juice Poop flying around in a private jet. When you gonna get there? I'm never flying around in no private jet, I can tell you that. I ain't flying around in no private jet. I'm also not going to work for ESPN or On3 or Yahoo or all the other people he went to work for either. Cool John, what happened?
Somebody timed him out for, I don't know why. So I just timed him out for 10 seconds.
Oh.
So at least that's it.
Auburn is historically way better than Georgia. No, they're not. They have a losing record to Georgia. They have less wins than Georgia. They have less SEC titles than Georgia. They have less natties than Georgia. They're worse than Georgia in every way imaginable. What's the penalty here? Can you not hit anybody anymore? He clearly hit him with his shoulder. Fucking bullshit penalty there. Option play for Idaho State, trying to get to the edge. Makes the first guy miss, but not the second guy. Gain of about 3 that time. Second down coming up for UNLV. Oh, they got him for taunting, for leaning him over at the end? Okay. All right, yeah, I can see that. 9 natties is more than 3. That's true, but Auburn doesn't have 9 natties. So, unless you're talking about somebody else, that's irrelevant to the Auburn conversation. 2nd and 4. Idaho State quarterback running for his life. Has to throw it away. Incomplete. 3rd and 4 coming up now for Idaho State. Auburn is better than Georgia this year. Lou even said it himself. I don't think Auburn's better than Georgia this year. I think Auburn's beating Georgia. I picked Auburn to beat Georgia this year. The better team doesn't always win. I've been watching college football a long time. I see the better team lose all the time. I got Georgia going 10-2 with losses to Bama and Auburn. I got Auburn going 7-5 or 8-4. Is this another delay of game? Yeah. All start that time. Back them up. It's going to be 3rd and 9 now for Idaho State. Georgia will not lose to Bama. You can bank on it. Well, if you've been banking on that over the last 15 years, you've lost a lot of money because all Bama does is beat Georgia every time they play. Doesn't matter who the better team is. Georgia's lost to Bama multiple times when they've been the better team. 3rd and 9, back to throw for Idaho State. Under pressure, gets rid of it. Incomplete. UNLV dialed up the corner blitz that time. Quarterback had to get rid of the ball and the wide receiver wasn't ready. 4th and 9, and the Potatoes will have to punt it away. Florida is the Dallas Cowboys of college football. I don't know about that. I mean, they haven't been any good in a while, but other than that, they don't have much in common with the Dallas Cowboys. But Utah is not in the SEC. That's true. Spread is starting to look good. I got it at 25.5, so I don't know. We'll see. I bet it on Tuesday at 25.5. It was at 31 today. So, I mean, I got a better chance of hitting it at 24 or 25 than I do 31, but I don't know. We'll see. Lou, did you pick Kansas State? Yeah, I had Kansas State on the money line. I had Kansas State on the money line and under in the first half. So I hit the first half bet, lost the money line bet. So I'm 1-1 on my bets today. 1-1. SEC in for a rude awakening with this new schedule. Anyone can win in the barn. Cal, Arkansas, and Vanderbilt came in there and won. Calandria back in the game at quarterback and immediately gets sacked back on about the 7-yard line. Did the better teams win in the recent natties between UGA and Bama? Well, there's only been 2, right? Yeah, the better team. I think, yeah. The 2017 was close. 2017... I get Bama was probably the better team, yeah. Georgia blew that game in the second half. I mean, Georgia had a lead at halftime, blew it in the second half. But I think Georgia was better than Bama in 2018 when they lost. Georgia was better when they lost in the 2021 SEC championship game. But Bama's just got Georgia's number. Yeah, Bama was better than 23, yeah. Sacked again. Wow. A couple of sacks have UNLV backed up on their own goal line. 4th and 17 now. They're going to be punting out of their own end zone. Terrible possession for UNLV that time. The quarterback hokey-pokey thing doesn't seem to be working. Dan Mullen's going to have to make a decision on this quarterback here. This rotating quarterbacks in and out don't really seem to be working. You can say Auburn is irrelevant all you want, but they're always talked about more than almost any team. That hasn't been my experience. I've been covering college football for 11 years, and I can name probably 20 or 25 teams that have been talked about more than Auburn. to be honest, I can't tell if you're trolling or mentally retarded. But it's one of the two. 3.5 minutes to go until halftime. Idaho State with the ball. They're down 4. They got out to a 10-0 lead. UNLV has scored a couple of touchdowns. They're now at 14-10. Second and long coming up for Idaho State. Oregon will be the best team in college football. It would be the first time ever if that was true. I think Oregon will be good. They got a lot of talent. I think a lot's going to depend on Dante Moore and how good he ends up being. They got a tough game at Penn State pretty early in the year. Best college teams of all time. That's a never-ending debate, but I don't agree with your list at all. First and 20 after the penalty for Idaho State. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage. Gets loose. Cross midfield. Close to a first down. Needed 20. Gained about 20. Depending on where he went out of bounds. Bama owns Georgia. That's a fact. That is a fact. Bama owns just about everybody, though. Are we allowed to troll here? No, this is a no trolling zone. Droovy, thank you in advance. Lou, who is UGA's best wide receiver? What, this year? Well, it's just a guess because they're all new. All the receivers from last year are gone except Dylan Bell pretty much. But I'm going to go with Colby Young. I think Colby Young will have a big year. Florida 2020, UNLV 2025, similar defense. They're reviewing this play to see where the Idaho State potato stepped out of bounds. It looks like he's out of bounds 3 yards short of the first down. If you look at that still shot there, it looks like he's out of bounds 3 yards short, which would make it, I think, 2nd and 3. Fire Dan Mullen. That first quarter by UNLV was awful. I mean, really bad. The offense was bad. The defense was bad. The special teams were bad. They missed a 30-yard field goal. Offensively, they fumbled the ball. Defensively, they couldn't tackle. That was... You can watch a lot of football and not see a team play that bad for an entire quarter. That first quarter for UNLV was horrible. Horrible. People seem to forget that Kirby lost to Vandy in his first year at home on homecoming. I don't think people forget that, do they? Did somebody else do that or something? Are you comparing that to somebody else? I want an Oregon versus Georgia rematch. Lou, Dan Lanning needs it. Boy, Oregon got humiliated. That was Dan Lanning's first ever game as a head coach there. He just got overwhelmed by a really good Georgia team. Idaho State with a swing pass, but UNLV cuts that down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. It's going to be 3rd down now for Idaho State. Jeremiah Smith will win the Heisman. Georgia wins the SEC. My Vols defense and running game are the key because QB and wide receiver are a huge question. Yeah, well, to be honest, the running game's a question too because you lose Dylan Sampson. Jeremiah Smith winning the Heisman, that's a good pick. I think he's probably the best player in college football. For a wide receiver to win the Heisman means he's got to have a good quarterback because you got to put up numbers, right? And I'm not saying Julian Sayin won't be good, but we don't know because he's never played before. But if Julian Sayin is any good, there's a good chance Jeremiah Smith will be in New York for the Heisman Trophy. For sure. And Georgia winning the SEC, that is my pick too. I've got Georgia going 10-2 in the regular season with losses to Alabama and Georgia, and then beating Alabama in a rematch in the SEC championship game. Good thing I took the Idaho Taters with the points, says Mike Luca. UJ kicked my Tigers' ass last year, and I still have a bad taste in my mouth about that. Is 2022 the best Georgia team of all time? I like the 2021 team better. I know they went undefeated in 2022 and they didn't in 2021, but I liked the 2021 team better. I do think those are the two best teams, Georgia teams, probably ever, though. There's a good play by Idaho State downfield on 3rd and 4 for about 15. Tackle made by Jake Pope, formerly of Alabama, formerly of Georgia, now a UNLV Rebel. First down, Idaho State. That was a God Squad UGA team. Yeah. They were loaded that year, for sure. Both of those years. They were loaded. I'm glad Beck left. I'd rather have him than not. I mean, he's a good quarterback. If UJ goes 10-2, they're losing to Bama and Florida. Rebel without a dog. UNLV by 40. Yeah, that was my pick. King, is it because it's going too fast? I can't read him. Only concern is Gunner looks small. He's smaller than Carson, but shorter than Carson Beck. He's stockier. He's built more like a tight end. How bad would it look if UNLV losses? It would look real bad. Well, even if they don't lose, this already looks bad. Even if they win this game, they look terrible. They look real bad. Yeah, I'm watching the other games today. I'm not streaming it. This is the last game I'm streaming today, but I'm watching the other ones, yeah. Still don't understand how Stetson Bennett started on those teams. Well, they really didn't have another option the second year especially. Oregon and South Carolina fans talking about Auburn's historical accomplishments. I think Wake Forest will make a bowl game. They might. Uh-oh, big play, Idaho State, touchdown, and they're going to retake the lead. With 2:06 to go in the first half, the Potatoes are going to retake the lead. Big touchdown run. Potato power, yeah. Potato power. Yeah, this is bad. UNLV looks bad. They look real bad. UNLV stinks. Yeah, they look terrible. They look terrible. I might have to take off the UNLV hat and put the team asshole hat on. I might have to go back to team asshole. This is just like the 2020 Florida LSU game, but in group of 5. Yeah, well, and Idaho State's not even group of 5. They're FCS. Thoughts on Sellers this year? I think it'll be good. Yeah, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. I think it'll be good. The chicken nachos were great. Fixing to eat them again here in a little bit. Fixing to eat them again. There's only a 2% difference between these two teams. I'm not sure what you mean by that. As a Vol fans, I think Tennessee goes 8-4. Yeah, I've got Tennessee at 8-4. I think they're too good and too well coached now to sort of drop off a cliff like they used to with the 4 and 5 and 6 win seasons. I don't think they're going to be as good as last year. I don't think they're getting to the playoffs or the SEC championship game. Like, I do think they're taking a step back, but I don't think it's like it was, under Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt, where in the bad years they're winning 5 and 6 games. I don't think they're dropping off like that anymore. Yeah, this defense is terrible. The offense hadn't been much better. I mean, the offense hadn't been much better to be fair. This UNLV team just looks really bad. Really bad. It's taken Dan Mullen 8 months to ruin UNLV. In one offseason, Dan Mullen has ruined UNLV. This might be worse than USC defense. It might be. Yeah. UNLV might have a worse defense than Lincoln Riley. The game's on Amazon Prime, and it's streaming on the Mountain West Network. I contribute more to society than your brain rot you post, you idiot. Me? What do you contribute? Dan Mullen knows stuff. Yeah, he knows how to lose. He knows how to ruin a team. UNLV might need to be rivals with the Dogs. Stop mistreating. Is someone mistreating me? Yeah. If someone is mistreating me, then they definitely need to stop.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
Or I'm going to send that kid to your house. Put the game on the Peacock Network? No. I'm going to watch it on Prime, Amazon Prime, like I've been watching it. Stop telling me what to do. I'm watching it illegally, says Throwing Hands. Butch Jones going to get another Power 4 job after he wins the Sun Belt at Arkansas State? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. Lou had a stressful, exhausting, but rewarding work week. No place I'd rather be than watching some football with Voodoo Ranger in hand with my boy Lou. Yeah, good to be back, man. The off season is so long in college football. I was talking on the Patreon stream. I miss hanging out with y'all watching these games. I know a lot of y'all just come here to troll me about things or whatever, but believe it or not, I actually enjoy watching these football games with y'all. You know what a cop is? Yeah, I know what a cop is. It's someone who got bullied in high school. What's going on out there?
I'm getting ready to make the nachos.
You're getting ready to make nachos?
Probably about 20 minutes.
20 minutes on the nachos. UNLV, how far will they drop in your polls? I don't know, because I'm not updating it this Monday. Update it next Monday. There's just not enough ranked teams playing to even mess with it this week. So I don't know. It'll depend what all else happens everywhere. Thoughts on Bryce Underwood this season? Well, I think he'll be an improvement over what Michigan had at the quarterback position last year. It's still hard to truly trust any freshman quarterback, especially in big games and road games. But I think he'll be a massive improvement for Michigan over what they had last year. For some reason, UNLV is putting Calandria back in the game. I don't know what UNLV is doing with the quarterback rotation. Dan Mullen needs to pick a quarterback. But anyway, Calandria is back in at quarterback. Picks up 7 or 8 yards on a scramble. It's going to be 3rd and 1. 1:40 to go until halftime. 4 wide and a shotgun for UNLV. And they hand it off this time and get thrown backwards for a loss of a couple of yards. 4th and 3. They're probably going to have to punt it. 4th and 1. Are they going to go for it on their own side of the field? Looks like it. Clown Mullen rolling the dice here. UNLV's got 3 timeouts. Idaho State's got 2. It's 4th and 2. I don't know what's going on here. What are they doing? Did somebody call timeout or what? I guess somebody called timeout. I don't know. Minus 25.5, not looking good. No, it'll be a miracle if UNLV wins the game. Mullen was a better coach at Florida than Napier. Yeah. Facts. Mullen took Florida to the SEC championship game. Dan Mullen has lost without Dak Prescott. Why does ESPN2 have Tarleton State and Portland and not UNLV? I think it has to do with TV contracts. And who has TV contracts with which leagues, I think, is the reason why. But I'm not 100% sure. Mullen is the only good coach Florida has had since Urban Meyer. Facts. More facts. For y'all are full of facts in the comment section today. Lou, what will the Ohio State excuse next week be if they lose? It'll be that they had 2 new coordinators and a new quarterback, and they won the national title last year, and it'll just remind you about that over and over again. Yeah, there will be a Your Season is Over video tomorrow. It'll be shorter than most Your Season is Over videos because there's not a lot of games today, but there will be one. Now, did UNLV jump off sides? 4th and 2, they lined up to go for it, and what's the penalty? Boy, UNLV is bad. 4th and 2, they line up to go for it, and they false start. So now it's going to be 4th and 7, and they're going to have to punt it away. UNLV is dog. Dan Mullen has ruined UNLV in one offseason. Unbelievable. UNLV was 1 win away from the playoffs last year, and Dan Mullen has drove them into the ground in one offseason. This is bad. UNLV is bad. They're poorly coached. They can't tackle. The offense is disjointed. They rotating quarterbacks in and out. The special teams is terrible. There's another bad play on special teams. The guy grabbed the ball instead of letting it roll. What was that guy do? Why did he grab that ball? It looks like this is a team that has never been coached. I mean, I'm an idiot, and I know don't touch the ball, let it roll. This is bad. UNLV is bad. Real bad. Idaho State's got the ball on their own 30. They've got 1 timeout, and there's a minute 22. They're going to hand it off. Fights forward for a few yards, maybe 3. 2nd down coming up for Idaho State. UNLV looks like a 2A high school team. They look really bad. Some of y'all, I guess, aren't able to watch the game, but they are terrible. They're terrible. They can't tackle. They're out of position. They're not set on defense when Idaho State snaps the ball. They're rotating quarterbacks in and out. They missed a 30-yard field goal for no reason. They've turned the ball over. It's just, there's nothing good really to point to. The guy who doesn't care about recruiting should not be coaching in Las Vegas. UNLV is almost Florida levels of bad. Dang. Let's see, 1:15 to go until halftime. It's 2nd and 6. Four wide, option, pitch to the running back, gets to the corner. 1st down across the 40 to the 45. It's going to be 1st and 10, Idaho State at their own 45, 1:08 to go. My new favorite channel is this dude who calls himself King and reacts to other people's content. Why are so many Florida fans so delusional this season? Well, they're delusional every season. They can't help it. 55 seconds and the clock is ticking. 1st and 10 for Idaho State. They're on their own 44. 4 wide again. Shotgun, snap, back to throw. Looks left, throws left. Caught. Out of bounds after a gain of 7 or 8 yards. 2nd down coming up. The clock will stop with 43 seconds to go on the out of bounds. UNLV versus Florida in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Let's make it happen. It would be great. It would be great. I would love to see Dan Mullen versus Florida. It would be great. Thank you, Matthew Zimmerman. DK says this is a way closer game than most thought it would be if that's a bright side. Yeah, the line came out at 24.5 and it got bet all the way up to 31. I got it at 25.5 on Tuesday and I thought I was getting a deal. Turns out UNLV is absolutely terrible. Idaho State on 2nd and 3 pass, incomplete. 3rd and 3 coming up. Clock stops on the incompletion. 39 seconds to go until halftime. Would 27 Tennessee beat this UNLV team, Lou? Oh, God. The 0-8? No, probably not. Didn't they lose to, like, BYU and Georgia State? No. Hard to pick that Tennessee team to beat anybody. Breaking news, UNLV trying to recruit the water boy out of the transfer portal. Damn. Might be too late for that. Might be too late for that. Do you think Georgia will play any Power 4 non-cons besides Georgia Tech with the new rules? Yeah, I think they'll still play other non-con teams. Yeah, I had UNLV minus 25.5. I bet it on Tuesday at 25.5. Why is UNLV splitting carries? They have a guy with 130 yards on 6 attempts, yet they give it to a guy who keeps getting stuffed. Classic Dan Mullen. Yeah, it seems like they haven't decided who any of the starters are, and they're just rotating players in and out at random. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of... It's bad all the way around. There's no... I mean, sometimes you can find a way to sugarcoat something, or like, well, this is working, but that's not. There's nothing. I haven't seen anything positive. This is really bad for UNLV. Really bad. Option, pitch, running back gets to the corner, now cuts it back up inside, slung down close to the first down. Needed 3, got 3. Probably a first down. 33 seconds to go now until halftime. Dan Mullen seems to be treating this like an NFL preseason game. This is, yeah, well, this is bad. UNLV is bad, man. Back to throw, Idaho State. Has to throw it away. No, pass complete. There's all kinds of flags down in the backfield. Looks like, I guess, holding. 2 or 3 flags thrown at the offensive lineman. I'm assuming a holding. Yeah, holding on the potatoes is going to back them up and negate what would have been about a 15-yard gain. The Mullen effect, yeah. This is, they look really bad. Lou, I joined Patreon last year, but can't get in now. And no wrench. What's up? I mean, I did a Patreon stream at noon. Everybody was in there. The link was posted on Patreon. I don't know what you mean you can't get in there. You just go to my Patreon page, and if you're signed up, you'll see the link. Noah Livingston says he got a job. Congratulations, Noah. Potatoes ain't played nobody. Well, so far, nobody's played nobody. The only body that's played anybody is Kansas State and Iowa State so far. Lou, what is next Saturday's games you're streaming on? I have no idea. I'll put a poll up on Monday on the Patreon page, and everybody will vote. And depending on how they vote on the Patreon page, that determines my streaming schedule for the week. So I'll know by Wednesday or Thursday. Well, I know I'm streaming Thursday night on YouTube, Cincinnati and Nebraska at 9 o'clock. But the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I don't know yet. Fun fact, you can know starters before game 1. Yeah, well, Dan, somebody should have told Dan Mullen that. Somebody should have told Dan Mullen that. Does UNLV have a backup quarterback? I missed that one. It's going too fast. Retro says Hawaii's road to the playoffs starts tonight. The spirit of Colt Brennan shall rise. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I like Hawaii tonight to beat Stanford, but I don't know about Hawaii to the playoffs. Lou, Iowa State played a team with 0 wins. Not impressed. Yeah. That is how people look at things. Yeah. Yeah, people say stuff like that. Yeah, I'll do a halftime video. Yeah. So at halftime, I'll where is it? At halftime, I'll put this picture up on the screen. Record a halftime video, and I'll be back at the start of the third quarter. Dan Mullen, the idea of early retirement. Yeah, well, he might be pushed into forced retirement at halftime. Who's winning the Natty? Penn State's my pick to win the Natty. Lou, are you 35? No. UNLV is about to lose its biggest fan. Their only fan. Yeah, UNLV is about to lose their only fan. Lou, if they asked you to do a guest appearance on SEC Shorts clowning Florida, would you make the time to do it? It depends what they wanted me to do. If they gave me rules, then no. Hey Lou, what's happening to UNLV? Are you watching the game? They're terrible, dude. Lou with his Alabama hat on? Huh? Drew Aller, good at being tall and handing ball of Penn State, is legit. Lou, are you 42? No. No Tommy fries. Chicken nachos today. I'll do Tommy fries at some point next weekend. Yeah, UNLV looks really bad. Is Florida the scariest 5-win team ever? All right, I'm going to do a halftime video and get it uploaded. I'll be back at the start of the third quarter. All right. Made it back in time. Made it back in time. Lou, the hat, the jersey needs to be on the Your Season's Over wall until UNLV wins next. I don't have a UNLV jersey. Yeah, I don't have a UNLV jersey. Hawaii's road to the playoffs starts tonight. Oh, we already read that one. Yeah, Hawaii's not making the playoffs, man. Hawaii's not making the playoffs. The hat and the jersey needs to be on the Your Season Is Over wall. Now, the helmet will be over there. The UNLV helmet will be on the Your Season Is Over wall for sure tomorrow. So far, it's UNLV and Kansas State will be on the Your Season Is Over tomorrow for sure. But I don't have a UNLV jersey. All right. Let's see what time these other games come on. Doesn't one come on at 6? So 6:30. Fresno State and Kansas at 6:30. That game's on Fox, so all y'all should be able to watch that one. Stanford and Hawaii at 7:30. Sam Houston and Western Kentucky at 7. I don't care about that one. I'll probably watch the Kansas game and the Stanford game, though. Dan Mullen is losing to part-time potato farmers. That's one of the worst halves I've seen. That was bad. That was an embarrassing half of football by Dan Mullen there. It really looks like UNLV didn't practice or prepare. Like it's hard to even explain. When I was doing the halftime video, because I know a lot of people aren't able to watch the game because it's not on because of whatever. I even mentioned during the halftime video, I was like, it's hard to explain how bad they are. Like, you have to be watching the game. They are, like, they're not good at anything. They're terrible. That's one of the worst halves of football I've seen in a long time. That's really bad. They were really bad. And, I mean, Dan Mullen should be ashamed of himself. To have a team look that unprepared against an FCS opponent, and again, I don't know anything about Idaho State. Maybe they're a good FCS team. I don't know, but that's an embarrassing performance against any FCS team. That's bad. That is bad. Fake 90s is disrespectful to the sport. Idaho State is actually a ABD FCS team. Idaho State went 5-7 last year. That somehow makes it worse for UNLV then. Thought I'd come by and hang out with Lou and the Lou Tours. What's up, Douglas? See you in here. All right, second half about to start now. Let's see if UNLV can get their shit together in the second half. That was an embarrassing. And here's the thing. Does it really matter if UNLV comes back and wins the game? I don't know. No. Like, that was so bad in the first half. I don't think it matters if they come back and win. UNLV is going to run the kick out of the end zone. 15. Going backwards now for no reason. Thrown down around the 12-yard line for reasons unknown. Just can't do anything right now. And is there a flag down too? Nothing on the kick return for UNLV. I don't even think they got to the 20. North Dakota State. What about them? Idaho State must have watched the hype and hate video from yesterday. Holding on UNLV on the opening kick. Is going to back them up inside the 10-yard line. Penn State reminds me of Penn State. What? Potatoes gave up 77 points to Eastern Washington last year. A top FCS team can match up with an average FBS team usually. Is Unc down bad? Me? I'm not down bad. UNLV might get 4 wins. Yeah, this team's terrible here. This is a terrible team. They play UCLA in 2 weeks, don't they? They might even, they're so bad they might lose to UCLA. They must have shown your video in the locker room. Me saying North Dakota State was giving an example of how SCF's teams can play ball too. Checking in, what is wrong with UNLV? They're terrible, man. They are bad. They don't do anything good. They don't do anything good. What's good, Lou? This is Joseph NR. Forgot the password to my old account. Dang, down bad. Well, good to see you in here anyway. Oh, Josh Pate gonna hype up UNLV now since they're bad? Maybe. UCLA might be UNLV by 40. LSU liquid shits University. Like Luca. Uh-oh. Chicken nacho time. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. It's time for chicken nachos. Time for chicken nachos. Penn State will miss that tight end. Yeah, man, he was fun to watch. All right, 1st and 10 for UNLV. Start of the third quarter here. They're backed up now after that holding penalty on their own 7-yard line. Calandria rolls out, throws, pass complete out in the flat, and they're going to pick up a first down gain of about 12. Still unable to throw the ball down the field, UNLV. Well, I say unable. Either unable or unwilling to throw the ball down the field. Everything is short, at the line, 2 or 3 yards past the line type completions. No downfield passing game at all for UNLV in this game. Calandria in at quarterback to start the third quarter. Back to throw. Now they're going to go deep. Had a man. Probably should have been caught. Off his fingers, incomplete. 2nd and long coming up now. Boy, those chicken nachos are good. All right, 2nd and 10 after that long incompletion. Calandria in a shotgun back to throw again. Rolls out to his left, throws. Complete, but at the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 4 or 5. The only pass game they have is at the line of scrimmage. They just can't complete anything downfield. Switch to Lucon? Yeah, I'm going to try anything. Second and about 6 now. Or third. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 for UNLV. They're on their own 22. Calandria in a shotgun. Moving people all over the place. Back to throw. Looks left. Now throws across the middle. Complete. Has a first down and has a lot of room. All the way out to the 40. Gain of about 18. First down UNLV. Minor miracle. Minor miracle there. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage again. Gain of 10 yards, but all of these passes are at or behind the line of scrimmage, every single one. Isn't there a way to put the, let me see. Hold on. How big of a half does UNLV need to have for them to earn your respect back? I don't think they can at this point. I mean, they're so bad, I don't think there's anything they can do. Yeah, these chicken nachos are good too. Chicken, melted cheese, shredded lettuce, jalapenos, onions, sour cream, guacamole, and salsa. They're really, really good. What is this, 2nd and 10? UNLV still losing, 17-14. They're down 3. And boy, they look bad. They look real bad. Back to throw. Under pressure. Steps up. Going to run now. Has room. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Dives for the end zone. Inside the 5-yard line, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. So not a touchdown. They're going to say he stepped out. Huge run by Calandria, though. Now they want to go fast. They hurry back to the line of scrimmage. And touchdown UNLV. So UNLV is going to take the lead for now. For how long, I don't know. For how long, I don't know. But for right now, UNLV retakes the lead. First and goal from the 3, and they score on a run and play right up the middle. Gump should copy Voltard by checkering Saban's fields, end zones, crimson and white. I don't think Alabama's got any interest in copying anything Tennessee does. Trying to get rid of those bots that post non-stop in here. They're like roaches. Can't get rid of them. Do you really think Texas is better than Georgia? Texas can't beat Georgia. Me? You talking to me? I picked Georgia to beat Texas this year. The lady made the nachos. UNLV looks down bad. They look terrible. They look absolutely terrible, UNLV. So many people need copium. How much of a Ryan Puglisi do you think we'll see before the Tennessee game? You might see some in the first 2 weeks against Marshall and who's the other one? Austin P. Keep typing if you disagree. I might have missed your reply, but I have to ask. No, you don't have to ask. You're choosing to. We've been over this, Michael Hogg. You don't have to ask everything. You choose to.
Nice.
You don't have to. But to answer the question that you're choosing to ask, Georgia will be throwing the ball to Colby Young, Noah Thomas, Dylan Bell, Zachariah Branch, Cash Jones out of the backfield on occasion, Lawson Lucky at tight end. Yeah, London Humphreys, Talon Taylor. I mean, what do you want me to do? Read you off the roster list of wide receivers? I mean, you can Google that. You won 320 on Prize Picks? Man, congratulations, man. That's a good hit.
Nice.
Oregon is better than Texas and pretty much everybody else. When did that start? 5 minutes ago? Because that's never been the case in college football history, but I got UNLV at minus 24.5. Yeah, I got him at 25.5 on Tuesday, and today it got all the way up to 31. Oh, we were on the wrong side of this one. I'm now rooting for Idaho State. 21-17, UNLV just took the lead. Shuttle pass by Idaho State. UNLV was ready for that, though. Gain of about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up now for Idaho State after UNLV just retook the lead, 21-17. These are so fucking good, I can't describe it.
I mean, we'll just have to start making them at home then instead of.
This is way better than the other
It's cheaper,
place.
definitely too. Chicken nachos.
I can't describe how good these damn chicken nachos are. They're so good. Yeah, Clown Mullen doing clown shit. Per normal. I just put $20 on UNLV, pays $240. Man, I hope you hit. That would be huge, man. 20 to win $240. I hope you hit. That would be huge. Idaho State back to throw on 3rd and 9. Deep down the sideline. They're going to get UNLV for pass interference. Going to be an automatic first down. UNLV's fucking dog shit. Terrible, too. Awful, even. Embarrassing. Mark Shires, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, you have made the offseason bearable like always, and now we get to listen to the hurt feelings of every fan base. Lou is the GOAT. Yeah, every week that goes by, there's going to be disappointed fans, that's for sure. I don't know if there's any UNLV fans out there or not, but if there are, they ought to be ashamed and embarrassed. NCAA 26 halftime Ike update. Luca 21, Octavian 7. Oh, y'all are playing video game football? UNLV might make Nico look like a good quarterback. Damn bots again. I'm telling you, these nachos are really good. Really good. This is my second time eating them today, too. I had them for lunch earlier. Have you seen the Netflix SEC series? No, I hadn't seen it yet. When is Georgia going to get a real fan base? What is a fan base? I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure you're really smart, and I just can't figure it out. 2nd and 6 for Idaho State. They're down in the red zone. Pass incomplete. Going to bring up 3rd and 6. UNLV, what happened? If you haven't been watching the game, they're terrible. They're bad. They're real bad. I turned the UNLV game on while I was taking a shit, and they made me clog the toilet. Well, get you a plunger, I guess. Most UGA fans are related. They already have a fam base, says Matthew Goldsmith. Idaho State back to throw. Deep. Wide open. Caught. Out of bounds at the 3-yard line. There was nobody in the same zip code as that wide receiver. UNLV is complete and total dog shit. This is bad. UNLV is. Dan Mullen has ruined this team in one offseason. I second that, Lou. You make the offseason bearable for a college football fan ready for a great year of your season is over. Thank you, Gator Man. Good to see you in here. UNLV needs to fire their DC and hire Lou. Well, they need to fire Dan Mullen. This guy, Dan Mullen, has ruined this team in 8 months. This is bad. First and goal for Idaho State inside the 5 on the 2.5-yard line. Shotgun, pass into the end zone, intercepted. Wow. 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 What are they doing? That's the second time Idaho State has thrown a pass that you go, what are you doing? Wow. What in the world was that? That was, well, UNLV caught a massive break there. UNLV caught a massive break there. Wow. It wasn't like the defender made some kind of a great play. I mean, he caught the ball, and that's good, but he threw it right to him. I don't know what that was. That was bad. That was bad. Lou and LV to the moon. Did you see the nachos?
They looked better when they first came out.
And then guacamole, sour cream, and salsa. Guacamole, chicken nacho, chips, chicken, lettuce, onions, jalapenos, salsa, guacamole, sour cream.
What's up, Commander Luke?
Well, webcam, you better hurry up, buddy, if you want me to save some. You better get here in about the next 5 or 6 minutes.
They're gonna be gone. Ain't no such thing, Seminole. On Saturday, at least.
Thank you for telling me to, the scoreboard. I'll get that fixed right now. There you go. Sorry about that with the scoreboard. Sometimes it stops updating after a while, and I just have to go click on it again to reset it. So thank you for telling me. Yeah, that was a terrible throw by that quarterback. I don't know what they were thinking. Sour cream, gross. I don't like sour cream on a lot of things. Like, I don't eat it on baked potatoes or whatever, but I do like sour cream with nachos. Kansas or Fresno State? Who do I think will win the game? Kansas. I think Kansas will win the game. I took Fresno State plus the points, and Fresno State to score over 16.5 points in the game. All right, UNLV with the ball after that turnover. 2nd and 8. Calandria is still the quarterback, completed behind the line of scrimmage, of course. Lots of room, though. Up the sideline, across the 40, out of bounds at the 42. So a nice gain of about 20 that time by UNLV. Another pass completed behind the line of scrimmage, though. UNLV, what do they have? Maybe 1 or 2 passes downfield the entire game. Everything else is at or behind the line of scrimmage. No downfield passing game at all for UNLV. 1st and 10, though. They've got the ball and the lead, 21-17. Calandria in at quarterback. We have seen some Alex Orji, but not in the second half. So far in the second half, it's been all Calandria. Back to throw in the pocket, going deep, unloads. Has a man caught inside the 15, down to the 10. Great catch. UNLV in business now, down near the 15-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10 in the red zone. Uh-oh, Calandra running for his life. Has to throw that one away. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 coming up now for UNLV. All right, 2nd and 10, 6:45 to go. This would, if UNLV scores here, that's a 14-point swing. Because Idaho State was about to score through an interception. Now UNLV right down in the red zone. On the ground this time, trying to get outside. Can't get loose. Dragged down from behind around the 9-yard line. Gain of maybe a yard. 3rd and 7 coming up now. Yeah, I'm going to watch the Hawaii and Stanford game, but I'm ending the live stream when this game ends. I've been streaming since 9 o'clock this morning. I do a kickoff show every Saturday morning at 9. So I did that for 2 hours. And then I streamed the Kansas State, Iowa State game over on my Patreon page. If y'all want to, I stream every Saturday over on the Patreon page. There's a link right there. Usually the biggest game of the week on Patreon every week. So if you want to check out the Patreon page, that's the link right there. I stream every week on there. So this will be the last stream for today. I don't always stream on YouTube on Saturdays, but I always stream on Patreon. Sometimes I do a second stream on YouTube like I'm doing now, but always on Patreon. UNLV is going to have to settle for a field goal after getting down inside the 20. 4th and 7. They're lined up here from the left hash. They missed their last field goal from about this same spot. It was a 30-yarder last time from the left hash. This one is right down the middle and good. And UNLV has a 7-point lead, 24-17. UNLV up over Idaho State. A lot of hate for Florida in the chat. That only means they will do get this year. I don't know. I've hated Florida every year I've been on Earth, yet they've still been bad. So I don't think people hating Florida equates to them being good, bud. Because I hated them last year and they were dog shit. I hated them the year before that and they were dog shit. I hated them the year before that and they were dog shit. So I don't think people hating Florida has anything to do with whether or not they're good or not. Yeah, love listening to you, him, ha, during football season. You should try these duck fat hot dogs. No, man.
You didn't even finish reading it.
I don't need to. I don't eat any hot dog unless it's all beef. A duck hot dog? People are doing way too much. A duck hot... What?
It says all beef infused with duck fat.
That ain't all beef. An all beef hot dog infused with anything is not all beef. I eat Hebrew National all beef, Nathan's all beef. That's it. Duck fat is good. So are Oreos. I'm not putting Oreos on my hot dog either. Something being good isn't a reason to put it on your hot dog. Come on, man. Nathan's or Hebrew National. You don't need duck goose or whatever you said on a hot dog. I can duck goose shit. No. Come on, man. People do too much for no reason.
Oh, just stop.
Bun, hot dog, chili, onion, mustard. That's it. That's it. That's it. All beef hot dog. Not that dog shit they sweep off the floor. Not that.
Stop saying that.
That's how they make those other kinds.
I don't care how they make them, okay?
That's why you got to get all beef, not duck fat or anything else. Just all beef hot dog. If not, you're eating something that was swept off the floor. Or in the case of the duck fat, siphoned off the floor with some kind of a hose or something. You gotta eat all beef hot dog. If you're eating pork or beef and pork and chicken and some mixed hot dogs, y'all know how those are made, don't you? At the end of the shift at the meat packing plant, they go around with a sweeper broom and they sweep up all the leftover meat that fell off the cutting boards and shit. They shove it in a sausage machine and out comes a hot dog.
Okay. I'm gonna go refill my water.
That's why you need to get all beef hot dogs, because all beef hot dogs are not made that way.
Look.
All beef hot dogs are made with actual beef and real meat, like just an act. But all that other shit, why do you think it's 49 cents for 8 of them? It's either that or throw. It's like, well, we could throw all this away like we're supposed to, or we can make hot dogs out of it.
Puts hair on your chest, all right? Look.
That's why I'm not eating that shit. They literally sweep it up off the floor. What is Idaho State doing? Look at this. Ain't nobody in the same fucking zip code. Another wide open touchdown for Idaho State. I mean, there was nobody near that guy. Touchdown Idaho State, gonna have a tied ball game. But yeah, so all beef hot dogs is all you can eat. If you get those cheap hot dogs that are made out of chicken, pork, and whatever else is left over, that shit from the meat packing plant that fell on the floor, at the end of the shift, they sweep it up, and instead of throwing it away, they stuff it inside a hot dog casing. I mean, I'm not making that up. I mean, that's really what it is. I'm not making that up. So, that's why when I go somewhere and they're selling hot dogs, but they don't tell you what kind they are, I don't buy it. I don't get them. If it's not Nathan's or Hebrew National, I'm not eating it. Period. Ardor Wolf 2016. Thank you for the super chat. But now an all beef hot dog, yeah, I'll eat that. I'll eat that all damn day. Nathan's or Hebrew National all beef hot dog. That's what I'll eat. That's it. What's my favorite college football food? Tommy Fries. There's a restaurant where I live called T-Bones. It's a steak restaurant, but Tommy Fries is diced up fried potatoes covered in like 3 different kinds of cheese, melted cheese, with bacon and ranch dressing. It's not good for you at all, but it's one of the best things I've ever eaten, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite football food. Potted meat. Yeah, I'm not eating no fucking meat out of no tin can. I'm not eating Spam and all that fucking Vienna sausage bullshit. I'm not eating all that. Not doing that. I don't even know what Spam is. Nobody knows what Spam is. Nobody knows what it is. There's people that eat it, like that lady what sits right there when I stream football games. She eats Spam like a hostage. I'm not eating that shit. Nobody can tell me what the fuck it is. I'm not eating it. I'm not eating it. Meat in a can that never goes bad? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Come on, man. You can't put meat in a can talking about it never goes bad. Then it ain't meat. Lou, go ahead and donate to the UNLV football program. They're going to need it. You're a super fan after all. Boy, they are fucking terrible, man. They are garbage. Spam is made from the sphincter muscle of pigs. I'll take your word for it, bud. Oh, here she come with the Spam bullshit now.
I didn't say anything about Spam. I hear you slandering Spam, but...
I'm not eating Vienna sausages, no. spam's not any good. Idaho State set to kick off after tying the game up at 24. UNLV had just extended their lead to 7. Idaho State scores right away to even things back up at 24. UNLV now returning this kick out across the 20, 25, 30, out of bounds around the 35-yard line. First down, UNLV, right there. Right there. Sardines. The only thing I'm eating out of a fucking can is tuna fish. That's it. I'm not eating chicken out of a can. I'm not eating Spam out of it. Nobody can even tell me what the fuck Spam is. If it's potted meat, then what kind of meat is it? It's ham?
I think. I don't know. I don't know what Spam is.
Then why wouldn't you just eat ham then?
It's delicious is all I know. Yeah, see? People are saying it's ham. Yeah.
I'd eat ramen noodles before I ate Spam. Taint meat? You can't put that in a can. You can't put that in a can. If you could, you'd be a millionaire.
No, he does not eat fried bologna.
I'm not eating no fucking Swedish fish, fermented or not, or otherwise.
Father Shuey.
All right, let's see what UNLV trying to do here. 3:59 to go in the third quarter. I wasn't expecting this to be a game worth watching, but fuck, here we are. UNLV with the ball in their own 22. Handoff, nowhere to go. Swallowed alive in the backfield. Loss of about 2 or 3 yards on that one. Nowhere to go for UNLV on the ground. Lou, you should try British blood sausages. No.
Oh.
You should try back-bottom gristled lumps. How about that? Go ahead and get you some back-bottom gristled lumps, bud. I've had 2 huge plates of nachos. I can make you some if you want. UNLV back to throw. Calandria running for his life. There he goes. That's the best play. That's really the only play they have. Is the quarterbacks running around. Way short of the first down, though, on 3rd and 25. He picks up about, 15. But it's going to be 4th and a mile now. Lou, what do you prefer, nachos or Tommy fries? Tommy fries. Tommy fries, yeah.
Yeah, we can't spoof Tommy fries here, though.
No, I've tried to make Tommy fries myself at home before, and they're not. They're not the same. They're better at the place I get them at. UNLV punched the ball away. No return on the kick. So 1st and 10, Idaho State on their own 25, all tied up at 24. How bad is UNLV going to get roasted on your season is over? They're going to get roasted either way. They are so bad. I don't care if they win the game or not. They're horrible. They're horrible. And the problem is, well, there's a lot of problems, but the main problem is that there's nothing they do good. Like, there's nothing they can, build on. Like, they got penalties. The special teams have been bad. The defense, we're almost at the end of the third quarter. They're still blowing coverages in the secondary. We're probably going to see another one here. Yeah, there you go. Well, he dropped it. You got lucky he dropped it. But look, another pass interference penalty. They're bad on both sides of the ball. Specialty, they're losing on the line of scrimmage to an FCS team. I don't know. like if you're watching this game, I don't know what you even build off of. Neither one of the quarterbacks look great. How are you going to lose to a potato at home? Well, I'll tell you how. It turns out that 120 potatoes, which is what Idaho State is, they got about, 100 players, 20 coaches. 120 potatoes is better than one potato, which is what UNLV has, Dan Mullen. UNLV has one potato. Now, he's a giant fucking potato, and his name is Dan Mullen, but it turns out that 120 potatoes are better than one. Dan Mullen's seat about to be on fire. Yeah, this is bad because UNLV was damn near a playoff team last year, and now they look horrible. And that's the worst part, is that they look unprepared. Look, they can't tackle. They had that guy tackled at the line of scrimmage, and somehow he gained 9 yards. I mean, they look like they haven't tackled all offseason. They look bad. They look real bad. Mullen struggled with Idaho in the first half of his first season at Florida. I hope you get an NIL deal with the Tommy Fries place. I have given them so much free publicity over the years. They ought to give me free Tommy Fries for life, as much as I've talked about them. But no, I'm good on the NIL deal for this season. It starts September 1st. I'll have something for y'all on September 1st. I can't talk about it until then, but I got something for y'all on September 1st with the NIL deal. Shit. Another pass complete by Idaho State. Gain of about 4 that time out in the flat. 2nd and 6 coming up for Idaho State. All tied up at 24. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Bobby Fries are the same thing in Charleston, South Carolina. Never heard of Bobby Fries. There is a T-Bones in Charleston, though, and that's the restaurant I'm talking about. There is a T-Bones in Charleston. Go to T-Bones in Charleston and get the Tommy Fries. 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Complete. Look at this. 2nd and 6. Let's do a 15-yard cushion. Shit don't make no sense. Players yelling at the coaches. UNLV is bad. UNLV is bad, bad, bad. I don't know. Maybe by some miracle they win this game, but there ain't a whole lot of wins on the schedule for this UNLV team I'm looking at here. Boise State going to beat the shit out of them, aren't they? You can stir fry some fermented sausage and make a real nice for the night. I'm not eating fermented. I'm not eating whatever the fuck that is. I'm not eating it. What position did they transfer from the P4? I don't see it. Almost every position on the field is a Power 4 transfer. Both the quarterbacks came from the Power 4. That safety they just showed came from the Power 4. That number 7 right there played for Georgia. Before that, he played for Alabama. So, I mean, if somebody thought he was good, he somehow got a scholarship to Alabama and then a scholarship to Georgia. So, Nick Saban signed him and put him on scholarship. And then Kirby Smart signed him and put him on scholarship. So, somebody thought he was going to do something. Touchdown, Idaho State. Untouched into the end zone, 20-yard run. I've got Idaho State plus 390. I hope you hit that, man. Plus 390. That's huge. I hope you hit that. I hope you hit that. Now, of course, you could have bet Idaho State before the game started at plus 3,000. That would have been even better. That running back is good. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell. I don't know if he's good or not. It could be that the UNLV defense is complete. Look at number 10. Piss poor angle. Number 10 took a bad angle, and result was a 20-yard touchdown. They called holding? I missed that. They called holding. I missed that. How are you watching the game? It's on Amazon Prime, and it's streaming on Mountain West Network. I'm watching it on Amazon Prime, but you can stream it on Mountain West Network, too. It's not on any type of channel like ESPN2 or whatever. It's if you have Amazon Prime, go to the sports tab at the top, and it's on there. Kansas game is on. Let's turn that on. I've got Fresno State to score more than 16.5 points in that game. All right, I'm turning the Kansas State game on. I've still got the y'all know the deal. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TVs in here. I got 6 TVs in here, so we'll have both games on. How old to make a Mountain West account to watch? I have no idea. I have no idea, buddy. All right, Kansas with the ball at midfield, 3rd and 2. Handoff, first down, inside the 45 to the 44. 1st and 10, Kansas. No score, 12 minutes to go in the first quarter. They're hosting Fresno State. Mods, come on, man. What are the mods doing? Yeah, I've never even seen a game. I've never even seen a game. Bots were timed out. Don't time out the bots. Just hide the bots altogether. When I come to Athens next month for the game, I do want to try to chop out steakhouse in Athens. I heard it's the best. I don't know that much about the restaurants in Athens, to be honest. When I used to go to the games, I used to drive to Athens, go to the game, and then come home. I haven't really spent a whole lot of time in Athens. It's doing anything other than just going to the game. Kansas just scored. Made that look easy. Kansas takes an early lead. Potato salad will be banned from Vegas if this upset happens. Potato salad. I'm writing that down. I might have to make a potato salad joke on the Your Season Is Over video tomorrow. Sometimes I steal some of y'all's jokes and use them on the Your Season Is Over video. So I'm writing that potato salad thing down. I might have to use that. I might have to steal that from you. Yeah, Missouri versus Kansas, old Big 12 rivalry game. That'll be a good one. The Missouri-Kansas game be a good one. I'm rooting for Idaho State now. Fuck Unlv down bad. Yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm about to start rooting for Idaho State too. They've got the ball 3rd and 18 on the 30. All tied up at 24. 3rd and 18 after that holding penalty. Back to throw. Goes deep. Caught, but out of bounds. Oh, no, they say he got a foot down. I thought he was out of bounds. Referee was right there, though, and said he got a foot down, so that's going to be, that's first down if as long as he's in back. He definitely caught the ball. He did tap one toe. Was it in or out? Well, that looks like it's out of bounds to me. That looked out of bounds to me. They have a stream of the game up on YT. I think they're going to take another look at it. Let's see, here's another angle here. That looks out to me.
Oh yeah, that's definitely out.
Looks out to me, I don't know. Kansas has already scored, so they're up 7-0 over Fresno State. Kansas can win that game by 100. I don't give a shit. I just need Fresno State to score over 16.5. You think Potato Town needs an apology, Lou? Oh, no. I've been doing those hype and hate videos for 11 years. Nobody's getting any apologies. Lou, you should get the Samsung Fold. No, the ladies got it. I ain't got no interest in no fold phone. The ladies got it, though. I do the S series, Samsung Galaxy S series.
I've actually got the flip, not the fold.
That wasn't targeting at all on that taunting. When they got called for taunting, that wasn't targeting at all. It was a shoulder to the back. So neither one of them's head had anything to do with it. I don't know if you're blind or retarded or trolling, but that play in the first half where they called UNLV for taunting, it was taunting. That was the right call. It wasn't targeting though. He hit his it was his shoulder and the receiver's back. So, like I said, don't know if you're blind, trolling, or retarded, but it's one of those three. The chat says it's probably all three. Might be all three. You might be blind, retarded, and trying to troll. Hey Lou, do you dislike mercenary teams? Well, it's not that I dislike them. I think you're better off building a team through mostly high school recruiting and then filling in holes with the transfer portal, like most high-level teams do. Some teams don't have a choice but to do it the other way. But given the choice, I think you're going to be a better team if you can recruit high school out of the top 10 and fill in holes with the transfer portal every year. Basically what Ohio State does, what Bama does, what Oregon does, what Texas does, all the teams in the top 10, what they all do. Yeah, the play stands, so it's going to be 1st and goal for Idaho State on the 7-yard line. All tied at 24, 13:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Kansas still up 7-0 over Fresno State. Fresno State now with the ball after Kansas scored on their opening drive. First look at Fresno State's offense in that one. Home game for Kansas. Idaho State quarterback throws out of the back of the end zone. Another pass interference call on UNLV, which is ridiculous too, because that ball was he threw the ball into the fucking bleachers. You didn't even have to. You didn't even have to do that. He wouldn't have caught that anyway. So just a stupid penalty by UNLV. UNLV is really bad. Really bad. They deserve to lose this game too. And they probably will, but like, you almost feel bad for Idaho State if for some reason UNLV comes back and wins, because Idaho State has clearly outplayed them. Shotgun and 4 wide for Idaho State from the 2-yard line. Hand off to the running back and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown. Idaho State now retakes the lead, 30-24. UNLV is undisciplined. Yeah, a lot of penalties from UNLV. They look unprepared in a lot of ways. The penalties, not being lined up on defense when Idaho State gets ready to run the ball. It looks like they didn't really have a plan offensively with the quarterbacks either. It looks like they've just been kind of figuring it out as they go. Nice play by Fresno State. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Out of bounds inside the 35. Huge play by Fresno State. Gets them down to the Kansas 34-yard line.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm full. Yeah, a lot of nachos. They were really good, though.
Good.
That's in the rotation again in a few weeks. Wasn't that an uncatchable ball? Well, they called the pass interference before the pass was thrown. That holding near the goal line really is what they were calling. This is why you got to love college football. UNLV 25-point favorites. College football equals hardest sport to handicap. They were a 31-point favorite at kickoff. I got them at 25 points on Tuesday, but at kickoff today, they were a 31-point favorite. Deer sausage is the best. I don't really like deer meat. I've eaten deer stew a few times, and it's okay, but in general, I don't really like deer meat. Tied in the fourth. Well, it's not even tied. Idaho State's winning by a touchdown, 31-24. Dan Mullen should be forced to run a potato farm. Yeah, he has ruined UNLV in one off season. This is really bad. They are really bad. Mullen should be ran out of town and banned from gambling. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe Dan Mullen bet on Idaho State. The prediction video you made for UNLV isn't going to age well. Yeah, what did I have them at? 10-2? There's no way this team's going 10-2. This team I'm watching today, they're more likely to go 2-10. But yeah, I did like 45 prediction videos, so chances are at least one of them won't be correct. Fresno State pass inside the 10, 5, out of bounds at the 4, first and goal, Fresno State. I'm going to be 1-2 gambling today after this UNLV disaster. So I really need Fresno State to score some points to get me back to even. I've got Fresno State to score over 16.5 points. I hit a first half bet in the Iowa State-Kansas State game. I lost the whole game bet on Kansas State. I'm going to lose the bet on UNLV. That'll put me at 1-2 on the day. Fresno State just scored a touchdown. I've got over 16.5 points for them. So I feel good on that one. That'll put me at 2-2. And then my final bet of the day, I've got Hawaii to beat Stanford. Little known fact, Dan Mullen's ancestors caused the Irish potato famine. Well, they're getting payback now. They're getting their payback now. John Mateer's going broke on this game. How's it going? How's it going? Here comes the extra point for Fresno State. Never mind. A penalty flag. They're going to have to redo it. All right. UNLV with the ball, first and 10. Down, a touchdown. Calandria throws, pass complete at the line of scrimmage, of course, because that's the only passes they can complete. Are at or behind the line of scrimmage. But a positive play for UNLV makes it 2nd and 3 now. Dan Mullen never needs to coach another football game in his career. Yeah, he needs to get back to the broadcast booth. This is bad. This is really bad. Handoff for UNLV on 2nd and 3, and he gained exactly 3 yards. Should be a first down. Now the extra point for Fresno State is up and good. Tie ball game. Kansas 7, Fresno State 7. Halfway through the first quarter in that one. Breaking news, Auburn just reached out to hire Dan Mullen. Well, I don't know about Dan Mullen, but they may be in the market for a new head coach come November if they don't win 8+ games. Going deep, UNLV. Diving catch! Did he catch that? What a fucking catch. Wow. Not a great throw. He kind of overthrew it. If he'd have hit him in stride, it probably would have been a touchdown. But he laid it out a little too far. Look at this catch, though. Laid out like Superman caught that damn thing. 1st and 10, UNLV in the red zone. Arian Smith would have dropped that. Oh, 100%. Anybody with a Georgia helmet on last year would have dropped that. Into the end zone, overthrown. Wow, wide open on a seam route. I mean, wide open on a seam route, and Calandria overthrew him. Would have been an easy touchdown. Lagway will be the best player in college football. Yeah, we know. Last year, the best player in college football went 9-3 and lost a meaningless bowl game that nobody watched. Wouldn't that be a miracle if Florida somehow accomplished that? Second and 10. Calandria keeps. Lots of room. Out of bounds around the 8 or 9 yard line. Going to be 1st and goal, UNLV. UNLV just won't give up, will they? UNLV just won't give up, man. They won't go away. These Florida fans are especially dumb when it comes to DJ. Well, the thing that makes them dumb is DJ Lagway may end up being a great quarterback if he can stay healthy. But that's not going to translate to anything for Florida as a team. Having a good quarterback doesn't make you a playoff team. For example, DJ Lagway might be better than Will Howard. He might be better than J.J. McCarthy. He might be better than Stetson Bennett. But those three quarterbacks won national titles because they had great teams. That's what the Florida fan doesn't understand. But listen, when you're busy winning 4, 5, 6 games a year for as long as Florida has, that's sort of the peak hope that you have, is that, oh man, I really hope we have one good player, you know? At least that would give them something. One good player is not getting them anywhere near the SEC championship game or the playoffs, and they know that, so they have to just run around with their fingers crossed hoping that DJ Lagway will be really good. But like I said, even if he is, and he might be, he looked good at times last year for sure. And if he can stay healthy, he might be good. But it's not going to amount to anything for Florida as a team this season. They're not winning anything. UNLV tied it back up again. 31 apiece. Hey, at least we've had good games today. The Iowa State, Kansas State game came down to the very end. It looks like this UNLV Idaho State game is going to come down to the end. And the Kansas Fresno State game's tied at 7. So maybe not great teams playing today, but we've had close games at least. Worth watching, right? I mean, these games have definitely been worth watching. You're coping because you know Stockton is garbage. Well, Stockton's not garbage. He's not winning no Heisman trophies or Maxwell awards. But neither did Stetson Bennett. Again, the goal when you're a team like Georgia is to make the playoffs. And to do that, you have to have a great team, not a great quarterback. So, would I rather be Georgia with Carson Beck and Stetson Bennett and Gunnar Stockton going to the playoffs every year? Or would I rather be Florida with DJ Lagway and celebrating 5 lost seasons? I mean, that's a pretty easy answer for me. Pretty easy answer for me there. Florida shouldn't have canned Muschamp as fast as they did. I don't know. I don't think Muschamp's built to be a head coach. So I don't know. I don't know if keeping him, I don't know how much good that would have done. The argument for firing somebody too early with Florida would be Dan Mullen. But look at this. So, you know, maybe that was the right thing to do too. Carson Beck is terrible. Yeah, Carson Beck's terrible. Okay, well, he's 2-0 against Florida. I mean, that's my point. You're making my point for me. You keep naming all these people that are terrible, but they beat Florida every year. That's you're making my point for me. Idaho State with the ball, 2nd and 7. They're on their own 28-yard line, 4 wide, shotgun. All tied at 31, 10:45 to go. Pass, intercepted. Oh, he dropped it. He would have walked into the end zone too. There was nothing between him and the goal line but grass and opportunity. And he dropped the intercept. That would have been a pick 6 for sure. That would have been a pick 6. He jumped that route. He timed it just right. Look at this. Just catch it, man. That's why you play defense, I guess. I don't know. 3rd and 7 coming up for Idaho State. Beck was 12th and 12. Yeah, I think Beck's a good quarterback. The Florida man thinks he's terrible, but, you know, the Florida man is mentally retarded. But I think Beck's a good quarterback. There's an interception. They got it that time. No pick 6, but they did get the interception. UNLV is going to have the ball in the red zone, 1st and 10 with 10:35 to go. How much do you bet on the Rebels? I don't bet much on the games. I usually bet between $25 and $50 a game. I have $25 on the UNLV game. All the games today, I think I have $25 on. All the bets I made today were $25. I don't bet big money on the games. Every once in a while I'll bet 100 or something, but all these games today were $25. I'm 1-2 today. Well, I'm 1-1. I'm 1-1 right now. When UNLV doesn't cover, I'll be 1-2. And then I've got Fresno State to score over 16.5 points. They've got 7 in the first quarter. That would put me at 2-2 for the day. And then I've got Hawaii to win tonight. Would put me at 3-2 if I can hit that one. The UNLV Idaho State game has been fun. So far, all the games have been good. The Iowa State-Kansas State game might not have been that exciting in terms of the offense in the first half. Wasn't a lot of scoring, but I mean, it came down to the wire at the end. It was a close game. And this Fresno State-Kansas game right now, tied at 7. So all the games have been pretty good today so far. 2nd and 4 for UNLV. Alex Orji in the game for no reason. Pushed out of bounds after a gain of 2 or 3 yards. So just when the UNLV offense gets going with Calandria, what does Dan Mullen do? Yank him out and put Alex Orji in. I mean, I don't agree with this at all. Ride the hot hand. Pick a quarterback and go with him. I mean, move Alex Orji to running back or tight end or H-back, something. I mean, he's a good athlete with the ball in his hands, but he's a terrible quarterback. Florida is so bad they lost to Tennessee last season. Well, Tennessee was a decent team last year. But Florida is bad, though. Florida's terrible. It has been for a while. Orji should be an inside linebacker. He's built like one, I'll tell you that. His legs look like tree stumps. If Texas loses 1 or 2 more in a row to Georgia, Sark has a ceiling. Well, I don't know. I mean, Kirby couldn't beat Saban, but he still won 2 natties. Kansas in the red zone now, inside the 15, down to the 14, but there's flags all over the place. See what's going on with that. UNLV should not be in the top 25. East Carolina making the playoffs as a G5 team. Haven't heard a lot of people talking about East Carolina. I like James Madison, Tulane, Boise State, Memphis, UAB. Third and 2. And I don't think they gained a fucking yard, Alex Orji. I don't know why they put him in the game. UNLV's offense was starting to click with Calandria, and then they take him out and put this deadbeat in. Makes little to no sense, but what do you expect from Clown Mullen? 2nd and 13 after the penalty for Kansas. They keep it on the ground and pick up about 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 7 or so coming up now for Kansas. They're in the red zone. 3.5 to go in the first quarter. All tied at 7 in that one. 4th and 1, UNLV is going to go for it instead of taking the lead with a field goal. More dumb decision making. And they're going to let Orji throw the ball on 4th and 1. Now he tucks it and takes off running. Touchdown, and he didn't fumble that time. Terrible play call. Terrible decision by Dan Mullen. Terrible play call by Dan Mullen. But Alex Orji turned it into a positive with a busted play, ends in a touchdown scramble. But that was bad coaching there. Should have kicked the field goal to take the lead. He should not have Alex Orji throwing the ball on 4th and 1. Look, I mean, just terrible all the way around. Alex Orji jumps at the goal line again for no reason, risking yet another fumble. Just terrible all the way around except for the end result. Here comes the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. Back to a 7-point lead for UNLV. I literally had to sweat my .5 over passing yards prize pick on Avery Johnson for a quarter and a half. Yeah, that offense was bad in the first half. But, I mean, it was pouring down rain. Kansas just scored on 4th and inches. They go for it, and they break a big run and score a touchdown. So they're going to retake the lead over Fresno State 13-7. The extra point will make it 14. How many people are watching this shit show right now?
700.
700? And how many thumbs up are there?
Half.
There's only 350 thumbs up in here? I'm shutting the stream down. I thought y'all were having a good time. If we don't get to 500 thumbs up, I'm shutting this stream down. I'm tired of y'all taking advantage of my free entertainment and don't even have the common courtesy to hit the thumbs up at my misery when I'm on here losing bets so y'all can troll me into oblivion, and you can't even have the common courtesy to give me a reach around. I don't give a shit about losing a bet, but I do care about being mistreated. And I feel like I'm being mistreated. You know, I have feelings too.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
Alright, thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. 529 thumbs up. See how easy that was? See how easy that was? I shouldn't have to threaten you. I shouldn't have to threaten you. You look like a baby in that clip. Well, it's not me. So that might be one of the reasons why you're confused. But no, that's not me.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
That's an actual baby. That's not me looking like a baby. That's an actual baby, dude. Come on, man. UNLV on the sideline celebrate, man. Look at them. Boy, y'all are dog shit, man. UNLV is dog shit. Your season is over, Kansas State. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yep, they'll be featured tomorrow in the Your Season is Over video. Here's the first of a million public service announcements about the Your Season is Over video. Okay? The Your Season is Over video. The Your Season is Over sign on the wall. The Your Season is Over helmet on the wall. The Your Season is Over video tomorrow. When I take the Kansas State helmet down. Walk around with it. Shit talk Kansas State for 20 minutes. And then hang their helmet up on the Your Season is Over wall. And say, Kansas State, your season is over. Their season is not actually over. They play 11 more games in the regular season. They could still win the Big 12. They could still make the play. I know all that. I know all that. It's just an expression. I'll have to remind y'all about that a million times this year, but so there's the first reminder. Another interception. UNLV picked it off again. UNLV said, fuck the bullshit. They're tired of fucking around with Potato State. They're fixing to run away with this thing. That you have to explain that and say, you'll see tomorrow. You'll see tomorrow when I premiere that Your Season is Over video. You will see people in the comments going, Kansas State season's not over. The Big 12 champions are going to have 2 or 3 losses. Their season ain't over. What's he talking about? I know. It's just an expression that we do every time a team loses. We just laugh at them. You lost. Season's over. It's not to be taken literally. UNLV keeps it on the ground, picks up 8 or 9 yards on first down. Going to be second and short now for UNLV. When did I start doing Your Season is Over? 2016 or 17, somewhere around there. It didn't really start out the way it is now. 2nd and 1 for UNLV, 4 wide. Calandria back in the game now, more quarterback hokey pokey. Option, pitch, inside the 10, down to the 7. It started out just making a recap video on Sunday talking about the games from the day before, and not even really on purpose. I just because of kind of the way I am, I ended up talking more about the teams that lost than the teams that won. And some people got irritated by that. They're like, why, talk about what such and such that won the game, blah, blah. Everybody does that. Everybody comes on and says how great some team was yesterday and they won and oh my God, it was amazing and this guy was good and that guy was good and this coach did good and this team has a good offense. There's a million people that do that. So instead of doing that, I started talking about the teams that lost. And it wasn't really called the Your Season Is Over video. But over time, I started just using that expression when a team would lose. Well, I guess their season's over. You got humiliated, blah, blah, blah. You're not worth a shit. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. I guess, your season is over. It just kind of started out that way. And then eventually one year, I just started titling the videos, Your Season Is Over. I think it might have been 2018 or 2019, actually. It might not have been 2016 or 17. It might have been closer to 2018 or 2019. I don't really remember. But that's how it started. Calandria throws incomplete into the end zone. Out of reach of the intended receiver. 3rd and 9 now for UNLV, just inside the 9. They can get a first down without scoring if they get to the inch line. 3 wide. Calandria in a shotgun. Snap. Whistles. Did somebody call a timeout? Yeah. They called a timeout before the play. You should do the top 10 helmet shelf again. No, I got top 15. Top 15 right here. The white shelf is the top 15. The white shelf is the top 15. Bring back tinfoil hat videos. I can't do that. People got mad and unsubscribed. Now, I don't mind pissing people off, but if I'm going to piss somebody off to the point where they unsubscribe, it's going to be over football, not over obvious joke videos that they're so dumb they take seriously. So I had to stop doing that. I played corner. Better record this year, Mullen or Gators? I think it'll be close. I mean, the Mountain West is not good. When you look at the projected win totals of the teams in the Mountain West, like almost all of them are at 6.5 or lower. So as bad as UNLV is, they're probably going to win a lot of games in the Mountain West. I mean, they're not beating Boise State. They'll probably lose to UCLA. They might lose a couple of road games, but they'll probably get to 6 or 7 wins. So they'll be close with them in Florida. Florida's probably 7, maybe 8 if things go well. Calandria just got sacked for reasons unknown. Probably should have kept Orgy. They keep looking at me every time they're fucking changing these quarterbacks out. These Gator fans have to be trolling. No, Luke, they're excited because they only lost 5 games last year, and so they think they're winning it all this year. They're not trolling. They're seriously that dumb. Here comes a field goal attempt, and they miss that one. They're now 1 for 3 on field goals. UNLV is now 1 for 3 on field goals, and it's still a 7-point game with 5:21 to go. They're 1 out of 3 on field. They don't do anything good. They're bad on offense. They're bad on defense. They're playing quarterback hokey pokey for no reason. They're getting beat on the lines of scrimmage. There's nothing that UNLV does good. There's nothing they do good. Yeah, Tennessee and Syracuse play next week. Might be a good game. I think Tennessee will win, but there's some people talking about a Syracuse upset in that game. I don't see it. I think Tennessee gets it done, but It'll be worth watching. 1st and 10 for Idaho State. They're down 7. 5:20 to go. Lots of room on a quarterback draw. Picks up 8 or 9 yards for diving forward. 2nd and short coming up now for Idaho State. Yeah, UNLV hat. YOLO overtime is what I want at this point. Oh, for the UNLV game? It could. It could. Idaho State's got to stop turning the ball over. They've thrown an interception on their last 2 possessions. The only reason UNLV's even got the lead. UJ is garbage fire. Well, they're the best program in college football. They've won 2 of the last 4 natties, and they beat your team how many times in a row? So if they're a garbage fire, what does that make your team? Dan Mullen defense on display. Idaho State throws complete on 1st and 20 after a penalty. Picks up 5 or 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd and long now for Idaho State. These Florida fans have to be decoys of other fans trolling. No. In a lot of cases, they've been around here for a long time. I recognize the names. So they're not, like I said, they're not trolling. They're literally that dumb. Arch Manning's going to be hot doo-doo. I don't know, man. I guess it's possible that every body on the planet was wrong about him, including your coaching staff that wanted him. Tennessee will blow out Syracuse. They have a history of doing that in those early games, early in the year. I don't know the streaming schedule for next week yet, other than I will be on YouTube 9 o'clock Thursday night for Nebraska, Cincinnati. I don't know yet on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's going to be up to the Patreon. I'll put a poll up on the Patreon page. They vote on what they want me to stream. Now, most of those streams are going to be on the Patreon page. Thursday night will be on YouTube because I normally stream Thursday nights at 9 o'clock anyway on the call-in show. But instead of doing the call-in show, I'm going to stream the Nebraska-Cincinnati game on Thursday. But the majority of the big games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, will most likely be on the Patreon page because they vote on that over there. So the link to the Patreon page is in the description of the video. I'll post it in the chat if you want to check it out. We did Iowa State, Kansas State over there today, but we have a really good time over there. Idaho State just picked up a first down, so keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10, big pass play down the sideline. What a catch, too. Look at that catch. Wow. All the way down inside the 35 to the 31. Gators winning every game for the rest of time. Yep, that's right. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. When's the last UGA game you went to? Georgia Tech in 2022? Yeah, Georgia Tech in 2022. What you watching it on, Lou? Watching what? This game? UNLV? Amazon Prime. And then I got the Kansas versus Fresno State game on over here, but it's on Fox. So anybody can watch that game. It's on Fox. Lou, do you want to take Hawaii for a friendly $10? I already have a bet on Hawaii, but sure, if you want to put $10 on it, that's fine. I want Hawaii though. I want Hawaii. Just send it. You know the deal on that, don't you? You got to send the money up front to my Cash App or my PayPal. If you don't send the money, then it's not a bet. And then if I lose, I'll send you your money. 105 Heismans for DJ. Is that correct, Florida? That sounds about right. Basically, Florida fans are talking about DJ Lagway the same way Tennessee fans talked about Nico, and the result's going to be similar. Neither is going to win anything. No conference championships, no playoffs, no nothing. Tennessee did the same thing. Tennessee was absolute dog shit for a long time, and then they got a quarterback they thought was good, so they acted like idiots on the internet and proclaimed he was going to win a bunch of natties and Oscars and Nobel Peace Prize and never lose a game and blah blah blah, and then he didn't win shit. And And the same thing's going to happen to Florida with the DJ Lagway talk. Lou, what Georgia player are you most excited to watch? I want to see the receivers just as a whole, not even any one in particular. Noah Thomas is exciting to me just because of his size, and that's something that Georgia didn't have last year. He's legit 6'6". So I'm excited to watch him play. Colby Young, the other guy on the other side, 6'4". And the offensive line's got to play well, or none of that will matter. Will Mercer beat UC Davis? I've got no idea, buddy. I've got no idea on that one. I have a Mercer helmet, but other than that, I don't know much about it. No, I don't have a Mercer helmet either. No, I don't have a Mercer helmet, actually. What happened to Kansas and Fresno? Nothing. It's on right here. 10-7. Kansas with a 3-point lead. I got Kansas and Fresno State on over here. UNLV, Idaho State on in the middle. And then the other games don't start till later. Yeah, the Mercer Bears. Yeah, I know. I got family that went there. I just don't know anything about their football team. Is UJ beating Bama this year? I picked Bama in that one. Stanford needs to close up shop like Cal. FCS helmets are over here. I don't have very many FCS helmets. I have Wofford. What else do I have? FIU. Is FIU even FCS? I don't know. Charleston Southern. I've got the entire Ivy League, but they don't really fit into a category. But I've got the entire Ivy League. But I don't have very many FCS. FAMU, I don't know. FAMU is an HBCU. I've got FAMU. Furman, I've got Furman. Kennesaw State just went FBS, didn't they? I've got James Madison, but they just went FBS too. I don't have Davidson, no. Yeah, I've got Furman. We're going 11-1 with a loss to UGA. Hook 'em, says Chris Thomas. I could see 11-1. I've got them at 10-2, just some tough road games. I've got Texas at 10-2, but I could see 11-1. A lot of that depends on the Ohio State game. I've got them beating Ohio State and still going 10-2. So if they lose to Ohio State, I think 9-3 is a possibility. But I've got them at 10-2 with a win against Ohio State, a loss at Florida, and a loss at Georgia. 4th and 23, and a timeout called. Thoughts on Ty Simpson? I don't know about him in particular. I think Alabama offensively will be better this year than they were last year. Jalen Milroe was too inconsistent. It was hard to it's hard to game plan when Jalen Milroe is your quarterback because you don't know what version of him you're going to get. I mean, the first half against Georgia, he looked like the best quarterback in the country. But then you've got the Vandy version and the Oklahoma version of Jalen Milroe. So when that version showed up, there was nothing. Alabama had no offense at all. There was nothing they could do. They couldn't run the ball last year. So when Milroe had a bad game, that was it for them. I think Ty Simpson will be more consistent than Milroe. He's not going to have the highlight runs. He might not have as high of a... I described it like this to somebody the other day. Let's say sometimes when Jalen Milroe played, he was a 95. Sometimes when he played, he was a 75. And you never knew where in there he was going to fall. Incomplete pass on 4th and 23. And Idaho State turns the ball over on downs. So sometimes he was a 95, sometimes he was a 75, but you never knew what you were going to get with Milroe. Maybe Ty Simpson doesn't have the ability to be a 95, But I don't think he'll be a 75 either. I think he'll be in the 85 to 90 range all the time. So I think he'll play at a more consistent level, which I think will help Alabama offensively overall. I also think Alabama's going to run the ball a lot better this year than they did last year, which will help any team. I've got Alabama at 11-1 with a loss on the road to South Carolina. Cash App. 14-7 Kansas up on Fresno State. I think I said 10-7 a minute ago, but all right. It didn't come through yet on Cash App, but I'll keep checking. As long as it comes through before the game starts, then it's a bet. Lagway going to pull another hamstring in game one. I mean, I hope not. I don't want anybody to get hurt ever for any team. But it seems highly unlikely to me that Lagway makes it through the season without missing any time. Texas versus South Carolina in the SEC title game. South Carolina's going to need a lot of help to make for that to happen. They've got a 4-game stretch where they play LSU, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Bama. Like 4 weeks in a row. Tough schedule. Plus they play at Missouri. They play Texas A&M. They have a tough schedule. And I'm high on South Carolina. I think they're going to be good. I really like Lenore Sellers. I like Nick Harbor out wide. But they lost a lot on their defensive front seven, and they don't recruit at an elite level. So they've got some serious concerns. It would take a lot to go right for South Carolina to end up in the championship game. But because Lenore Sellers is so good, if he gets hot in a couple of those big games and they pull off some upsets, I mean, it could happen. Texas State. Got a NASCAR bet, $10 to win $17.50. Hell, I hope you hit it. I hope y'all hit any bet y'all ever make. Fuck the bookies, fuck the sports books. They make a fucking killing. I hope any bet y'all make, I hope y'all hit it every time. Unless you're betting with me, and of course, in which case, I hope I win. But when you're betting against a sports book or a casino, I hope y'all win every damn time. Video idea. Who do you think should be each team's 3 protected rivals, taking into account old rivals and not just who's good? I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to do a video on that because I don't really care about who the 3 are as long as the rivalry games are protected, and they will be. So, in other words, for Georgia, it's going to be Auburn, Florida, and I don't care what the 3rd team is. It doesn't matter to me. As long as the rivalries are protected, I don't care who the third one is. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, once they announce the 3 teams, everybody's going to cry and complain. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter who the 3 teams are. Fans are going to cry and complain. I didn't want that team. I wanted this team. It should have been this team. Why did we get stuck with this team? This team has an easier 3 teams than we do. Our 3 teams are harder than that team. I wish we could play that team. Why couldn't we play this team? It's going to be a nonstop crying and complaining thing about who the 3 teams are. I'm not going to get involved in that. I know Georgia's going to get set up with Florida and Auburn. That's all I care about, protecting those 2 rivalries. Who the 3rd team is, I couldn't care less. I really couldn't. Will Kennesaw or Georgia State ever be good? Depends on your definition of good. I mean, I don't think the group of 5's got any business competing with the Power 4. I think they should break off and have their own postseason and the whole deal, but they don't want to listen to me. 2:27 to go in the game. UNLV up a touchdown, 38-31. Looking at a 3rd and 2. It's going to be Florida, Auburn, and South Carolina for UGA. I think it's going to be Florida, Auburn, and Kentucky. Will Napier keep his job when Florida goes 6-6? I don't know. I hope so. I hope they keep him forever. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's been there 4 years with a terrible offense and refuses to hire an offensive coordinator. I know he's technically got an offensive coordinator on paper, But that's all it is on paper. He's still calling the plays. I mean, the guy's an idiot. Empty backfield for UNLV. Alex Orji in the game on 3rd and 2. Straight up the middle, picks up the first down. That's going to just about do it. Idaho State's out of timeouts. The clock will stop one more time at the 2-minute mark for the 2-minute warning, but there's nothing Idaho State can do to stop the clock. This one's going to be over. UNLV, by some miracle, is going to hang on to beat Potato State. Yeah, I trust Gunner. I mean, I don't think he's winning the Heisman or breaking any records, but I think he's good enough for Georgia to win games with the pieces around him. Scoreboard not updating again. You don't have the ability, Tom. You've got the time. You've got plenty of that, but you don't have the ability. You don't have the ability to troll me hard or whatever it is you're saying. Great effort, potatoes. Yeah, I mean, I think they outplayed UNLV. UNLV embarrassed themselves today. That was a horrible game by them. They look bad. They look real bad. They better get a lot of shit figured out quick or they're going to lose a lot of games. How are they winning? Idaho State threw interceptions on 2 possessions in a row in the 4th quarter. That's really the only reason. UNLV is going to win this game. Idaho State threw interceptions on back-to-back possessions. That's really it. Isn't Georgia and South Carolina a rival? No, Georgia's got 3 rivals: Florida, Auburn, and Georgia Tech. Gators winning every natty from now to the asteroids kill us. Well, in your case, the sooner the better, bud. You won't be missed, I promise. You could be dead for a week before anybody even realized you were gone, Tom. That's how much you don't matter. The only way anybody'd even notice you were dead would be the smell after a while. Kansas is still up 14-7 over Fresno State. I need Fresno State to score over 16.5 points. So I need one more touchdown and a field goal by Fresno State. They can lose by 100 for all I care, but I need them to score over 16.5 points. Fun fact, the mental institutions in Florida are legitimately called live stream. Georgia lose to Bama regardless. Yeah, I've got Georgia losing to Bama and Auburn this year, 10-2. LSU versus Georgia for the SEC championship. I think LSU's got the talent to get there. I doubt Brian Kelly in big games, and they play Oklahoma the last game of the year on the road at Oklahoma. I think LSU's going to have 2 losses going into that game on the road at Oklahoma. And I don't trust Brian Kelly to win a game with that much pressure on him. So I've got them losing that last game of the year to drop to 9-3 and miss the SEC championship game. You think Georgia and Bama is going to be a close game? Yeah, I do. It's in Athens. Georgia hasn't lost a home game since 2019. I mean, I won't be surprised at all if Georgia beats them. I think Georgia matches up well with Bama. I think Georgia's got the ability to beat Bama, but it's hard to pick Georgia over Bama right now because Bama just seems to have their number. So I've got Georgia losing to Bama at home in week 5. All right, that's the ball game. UNLV somehow manages to hang on and win 38-31, but I'm telling you, they're the worst team I've seen play all year. Now, of course, I've only seen 3 or 4 teams, but UNLV is the worst team I've seen play all year. They look really, really bad, and if they don't get some shit figured out quick, fast, and in a hurry, they'll be lucky to make a bowl game. Absolute disastrous performance by UNLV, particularly on defense, and they got to figure out the quarterback situation too. Really, the entire offense looked bad for the most part. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Had a great time watching these games. I do this every Saturday, so stick around. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I post videos year-round college. We do call-in shows every Tuesday and Thursday night, and I do these live streams on the weekend. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today watching these games. I had a great time. Congratulations to the winners. Shout out to the losers. And the Your Season is Over video will be up tomorrow sometime in the afternoon. The next live stream, game live stream, will be Thursday night at 9 p.m. for Nebraska and Cincinnati. So come on back and hang out Thursday night at 9. We'll watch some more college football. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a good morning.